Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for September 4th, 2025. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Welcome, everybody, and we'll start by our self-introductions. All the way to my far left, please.
Jason Dragani.
Gaspar Bimba.
Michael Donlin.
Richard Tripp.
Crystal Morin, Secretary.
Lynn Perkins, the Chair.
Donald Burgess, member.
We have Code Enforcement Officer Carrie Owen all the way down to our right, and Lucy Peoples is our clerk. She'll be taking the minutes for the evening. Mr. Corbett will be here shortly, as he had a family matter to take care of. And arriving right now, Mr. Dietzel.
Hey, Mr. Dietzel.
Come into the room. No, I appreciate you showing
Made
up.
it.
Thank you. Just some announcements. These proceedings are scheduled to end at 10, as they typically are, and in the event of an emergency, please exit to the rear of the room, don't use the elevator, and these proceedings are audio-video recorded. Are there any, please shut off your cell phones, any electronic gadgets that could create a distraction of the proceedings, okay? Our first case up is a request to table, and that is... Actually, before we do that, I'm going to ask that we shift the agenda around. I'd like to move a motion to move case number 25-132 in place of case number 25-133.
I'll make the motion to move 25133 to start instead of 25132.
Thank you, Mr. Obimba. Could I have a
I'll
second?
second it.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. My reason for doing that is because Mr. Corbett is on his way, and I'd presume try to push 132 off as he sat on the case to give him an opportunity to speak on that request. So all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mrs. Peoples will just move those two around in the agenda. So back to this request to table case number 25-129. The applicant is looking for a date certain, which means that gives them protections on having to renotice this matter to the abutters. This matter was for a shed on 3R Phillip Road. She would like a date of October 2nd, 2025. If we could have a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Mr. Tripp motions on that
I'll second
to
it.
table that, and to October 2nd. Mr. Burgess seconds. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing no gestures there, all in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Next is case number 25-133. This is a case request for extension. 133. Kenneth and Tunde Uring on 4 Lennox Road. Mrs. Owen, Miss Owen, we have, the applicants are requesting extension of the variance granted October 7th, 2021 to certain terms, Town of Derry Ordinance, and subsequent extension granted on October 19th, 2023. This is for a conversion of existing 2-family dwelling into a 3-family dwelling. So one extension has been granted to this application. Have there been any extensive changes to the zoning ordinances in this area, do you know?
Can you speak into the microphone?
Can you,
Is your microphone
I
on?
wonder if your mic's off, Miss Owen.
Hello. Press the button.
Should have a little green light under there.
Like this one.
Mr. Diesel, can you give her a hand there? Just check and see if she's got the right button.
There was something I was just reading on the extensions.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
All right. All right, go ahead,
No
Mrs.
zoning changes for this area that I'm aware of. They have gone through TRC at this point a few weeks ago and are working on updating comments on the site plan from that meeting.
So it's conditions being met to the Technical Review Committee,
Correct.
department heads, I guess, right? Police, fire, planning.
Correct. Engineering, DPW, code.
Okay. All right. In that case, is there any other points of matter to be taken on this from you?
I don't believe so. I think what, the applicant is trying to move things along. I think that there were some restrictions at the time when it came to parking, and the state law has changed and relieved that. And they've worked on updated site plans to meet the requirements for zoning and planning at this time.
All right, very good. Any other comments from anyone?
Typically, when we grant an extension, the maximum extension is 2 years. And I believe that we caution the people requesting an extension to ask for the max time, because if something else comes up that delays you completing the project, you'd just be back here again. And we'd like to minimize that situation from occurring. So I would suggest that we ask them to ask for a 2-year extension and not a 1.
No.
You make an interesting point, Mr. Tripp, in that we had a good evening, Mr. Corbett. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Dragani, would you sit on this, please, and make a decision on this?
I don't have a problem with having an extension. I do agree with him with having a 2-year, just because if he runs across anything else, and him coming back again.
You concur with Mr. Tripp?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I think overall, the relief comes in on the extensions, which are 2 years typically. To get to planning, I think, as Ms. Owen, code enforcement has indicated that the process is moving forward, and it doesn't sound like Mr. Dragani or Mr. Tripp object to this, and both are in concurrence of extending this for the allotted statute of 2 years. And I think we've had similar situations where people come in, they're just getting in under the wire, ask for the minimum. It's like asking for a pay raise. You get it and you say, I should ask for more. So that being said, we'll take a motion on that for this extension.
I'll make a motion. I make a motion on case number 25-133 to grant a variance extension for Kenneth and Tundi Earring for Lennox Road parcel ID 32033 as allowed per state statute.
Very good. That motion is read.
I'll second.
Mr. Burgess has a second. Finding of fact, I'll take care of this, Mr. Corbett, instead of throwing you into the middle of the pond. And in this case, finding of fact, this request is being asked for by the applicant to extend. It's converting an existing 2-family dwelling into a 3-family dwelling, and it is in the general commercial zone on 4 Lennox Road. That's the finding of fact. Anybody have any addendums to that? Seeing no gestures there, so all in favor of moving this for a vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mrs. Moran,
I vote yes.
Mr. Burgess,
I'll vote yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Mr. Dragani,
Yes.
and the chair will make it unanimous, so we will give them that extension until the appropriate time. And as code enforcement sees fit. Next up, and Mr. Corbett, we rearranged our agenda. We moved 132 in place of 133, so this is the third case for the evening, which will be a request for rehearing from Tapir Properties, LLC.
Things missing.
Sorry again? Well, we're on this, we're going to this one now. This is our third one. We're all set. Yeah. No, that's all right. So next up is case number 25-132, request for rehearing Tapir Properties LLC, 29 Crystal Ave. This was a request for a two-bedroom dwelling unit to be installed in the basement floor of an existing business, that the business owner, property owner purchased and started a limousine service, and the request was to try and put a two-bedroom dwelling unit in the basement of below this commercial enterprise.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Corbett?
before you go too far on this one, I wasn't here for this case. We're
Okay.
going to appoint the alternate who sat in my place for the rehearing request.
Very good. And I'm mistaken, because that was one of the reasons we rearranged, and hard to keep track of the musical chairs. Do we know who the members were that sat on this one?
I did, Mr. Chair.
You did, Mr. Dietzel? All right, Mr. Dietzel, you'll be in place of Mr. Corbett. Thank you, Mr. Corbett, for pointing that out. And
Thank you, Mr.
passing
Chair.
that along to the member who sat on the case. Anybody care to start discussion on this matter? Mr. Dietzel?
Mr. Chair, I don't see any additional information that we didn't have at the time when our deliberations or our vote, and I see no procedural errors were made by this board. I see no reason to rehear this case.
Good. Mr. Tripp, any thoughts?
I do not believe there's anything new that has been brought up by the applicant, I'm sorry, not appellant. So I would
All right.
I would presume to continue with the decision as made.
All right. Ms. Moore, anything?
I agree with what has been stated. On count 3, it talks about misunderstanding of the law, and I find that we understood it quite well and looked at everything given, and there's nothing new.
Very good. Mr. Burgess, anything?
Nope, I see the same thing that we had previously, that it's a business area. It's not made for residential in respect to this.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Burgess. I would concur with the members of the board. I saw no procedural error. We met discussed the points brought forward and evaluated the town's zoning ordinances and on the discussions, as well as other points of law that the attorney has pointed out. So in this matter, we'll move to make a motion on this. Mrs. Moore, you have a motion to read?
I do, thank you. I make a motion on case number 25-132 for Tapir Properties LLC to grant the request for rehearing for the August 21st, 2025 decision by the Town of Derry Zoning Board of Adjustment, ZBA, denying the request for a variance to allow the installation of a two-bedroom dwelling unit in the basement floor of the existing business. Parcel ID 32028, zoned GC as presented with the following conditions. We have none, and that concludes the reading of the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Tripp. That puts that motion on the floor. Now for finding of fact. Mr. Corbett, are you have any preparation there?
Yeah.
Okay, feel free.
So the finding of fact for case 25-132, the rehearing request, the board found that the applicant is requesting a rehearing. The original application was for a two-bedroom apartment within the general commercial district. The application is for a property that currently operates as a limousine service. The rehearing request is for the following counts. 1, the board's decision is unlawful because it violates RSA 676:3.I by not stating specific findings of fact in support of the decision. Count 2, misunderstanding of law, RSA 676:3. Count 3, misunderstanding of law, RSA 674:33. And count 4, the board's decision is not reasonably or rationally based upon evidence in the record. The board also includes all finding of facts in the meeting minutes for this application and incorporates all meeting minutes into its finding of facts and decisions. Does anybody have any additions or addendums to make?
No gestures there, very good. All in favor of moving the motion for a vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Tripp?
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. No.
No on the rehearing.
No on a rehearing.
Very good. Mrs. Moran?
Chair, I vote no as well.
Mr. Burgess?
I also vote no.
Mr. Dietzel?
No.
All right, and I will make that a unanimous no for the reasons stated earlier. Whereas this is a request for rehearing, 5 criteria don't necessarily matter. The applicant has recourse to the Housing Appeals Board or the Land Use Court, and wish him luck. Thank you.
This one.
Next up is case number 25-122, Shaughnessy Allard, PLLC, Gino Sperry, and Shade Tree Farm, LLC. This was tabled, continued from August 21st.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
didn't we request from 11 by 17s? I don't see them in our packet.
We did ask for that. Okay. Would you hand those to Mrs. Owen for us, please? She can distribute.
Well, that's good, because I can't see these.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Owen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, this is not...
Have there been any revisions to these plans?
Yes, there have.
Okay.
For the record, Brett Allard with Shaughnessy Allard, here on behalf of the owner and the applicant, Gino Sparrow, owner of these 2 lots, one individually, one through his LLC. Last meeting, I think we left off, I went over the variance criteria in detail. I don't think I need to rehash that unless anyone has any particular questions. But what it really came down to was, I think, 2 things that the board was grappling with. One was the component of the original lot line adjustment plan that showed lot 113 not retaining any frontage at all within the town of Derry. And it was a little hard to read the prior plan because it sort of had the existing conditions overlaid with the proposed conditions as it relates to the lot line adjustment. So what we've done now, and just to refresh the board's recollection, the proposal is a lot line adjustment to give about 1.64 acres of lot 113, the front lot, to the back lot to allow access from Drew Road to the back lot 84-3 so that my client can utilize that back area for some personal agricultural uses. So the original plan, the existing conditions plan here, which we've broken out from the proposed conditions plan, gives you a pretty good idea now, a clearer picture of what's going on out there. You can see the existing house on the existing conditions plan. You can see the 2 driveways in sort of a U shape. One is currently located in the town of Derry. One is located in the town of Hampstead because of that municipal boundary that bisects the lot. If you flip to, and you can also see on the existing conditions plan, there's a wire fence that runs from around the edge of the driveway near the road on the Derry side, and it sort of runs all the way back to the end of the lot. If you flip next to the lot line adjustment, the Northam lot line adjustment plan, this is the revised lot line adjustment plan as compared to what we submitted last time. And if the board recalls, at the last meeting, we were asking for a frontage variance to allow lot 113 to have 0 frontage in the town of Derry post lot line adjustment. Now it would still have all that frontage in Hampstead, which is 322 feet, more than that, almost 400 feet or so. But it wasn't going to have any in the town of Derry. What we've now done is we've shifted that proposed lot line to the south so that the lot 113 will maintain 41.31 feet in the town of Derry, which includes all of the existing driveway. So that southerly driveway that is in Derry will stay in Derry, will now stay also on lot 113. So this lot will have, if the variance is granted, instead of 0 frontage in the town of Derry like we were originally proposing, it'll have 41.31 feet in the town of Derry, including the existing driveway that is on that newly adjusted area. So it's still obviously not the 200 feet in Derry that we need, but it's up from 0 to 41.31 feet. And we think that, are hopeful that that satisfies a large bulk of the board's concerns at the last meeting. The second concern was having to do with hardship, and a large part of our hardship analysis is my client's inability or practical inability to access this back portion of lot 84-3 in the vicinity of the rear portion of lot 113. And it's a large lot, that lot 84-3. It's, I believe, 65 acres and change. If you flip to the third plan that we've submitted, this is an older plan that Promised Land Survey did. It's 4 sheets. It's all an existing conditions plan, but it's of that back lot. And if you look at the sheet 1, this is all the way at the opposite end of lot 84-3, and you can see the wetland channels there that cross the lot in this area. One behind what's shown as the new dwelling on lot 84-3. There's a second one further to the north as you follow this lot sort of off the paper. So that's 2 wetland crossings there. If you flip to, that's on sheet 2. If you flip to sheet 3, you can see even more wetlands as this lot meanders further north, a 3rd wetland crossing in there. And then if you flip to sheet 4, this is the sheet that gets you to the point in that rear lot where you can now also see lot 113 in the front, where we're asking to adjust the area, and there's a 4th significant wetland crossing there. So that really is, gives you a visual of sort of the wetlands that we were talking about at the last meeting, the difficulty in crossing them. My client ideally, doesn't want to do wetland crossing permits with the state having to disturb them. The state prefers if folks can figure out ways to avoid doing that. My client, regardless of what the state wants, would like to avoid having to do that. And really, as a practical matter, it just makes the most sense for him to have an ability to access his back lot by coming straight in from sort of this very end of Drew Road where the Hampstead municipal boundary is and where he already owns that front lot 113. Now, certainly he can do that right now because he owns both lots, but in all likelihood at some point in the future, lot 113 will get sold, and if the lot line adjustment is approved, then my client can retain that strip that we're proposing to adjust, which runs from the very end of Drew Road back to lot 84-3, and we think we've done it in a way now that it makes more sense, more prudent from a planning perspective, maintaining that 41 feet of frontage on lot 113 in Derry, maintaining the existing driveway on the frontage that will be located in Derry, while also allowing him to preserve that future access in light of the difficulty in the inherent restrictions of the topography out back and the really inability to get back there from the other side of the property. So that's sort of an overview of our revised plans, our new plans, our changes from last time. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any further questions.
Map 2, Lot 38 would be 2.006 acres, is that correct?
I'm sorry, which lot was that?
That's the divided lot in Hampstead, which is Lot 38, Map 2, Lot 38. That's 2 acres?
The lot in Hampstead is 2.006 acres.
Are you in planning right now in Hampstead? Going through planning at all, or Derry on this?
No, there's no procedures going on in Hampstead, although when the planning board, this came to the planning board, they did determine it was a matter of regional impact, so the town of Hampstead was provided with notice and the opportunity to comment in connection with the planning board matter, so they are at least aware of it.
So simultaneously, you are going through Derry planning?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The Hampstead lot there seems to have a lot of wet area.
I'm sorry.
Anything?
No, I just was asking for a clarification.
It's all right. The lot in Hampstead seems to have a lot of wet area.
Yeah, it's primarily wetlands in there. It dries out as you get towards the road and towards the driveway on the south side. But that's another wetland channel that makes up probably 75-80% of that Hampstead lot, and then runs in a sort of westerly direction across the back portion of Lot 130 in Derry.
Is that map 2, Lot 38 developable as a house lot?
The Hampstead lot? I don't think so, yeah.
It doesn't meet the,
It's too wet.
Yeah.
what's their zoning criteria there for a house lot?
Criteria, but the land's not developable, it's too wet.
No, I understand. Do they have a 2 acre, 3 acre, 1 acre limit on this, in that zone? Do you
I'm
know?
not exactly sure what their requirements are.
You haven't looked at it enough because you don't feel it's developable?
No interest, even if it was.
Yeah.
So that being said, how does that play into whether, to subdividing it at all? What's the real purpose of it? What's the real purpose of subdividing this lot at this property at all if the front property isn't developable or usable as a residential purpose?
Well, there's already a residence on this property. You can see the existing house on Lot 113 in Derry.
Yep.
So as a practical matter, if you're standing at the road looking at the property, the wetland just looks like the yard on the right side.
Yeah.
And you can't really tell where the municipal boundary is. So as for all intents and purposes, both of these lots, the one in Hampstead and the one in Derry, are as developed as they're really going to get.
So it's going to lead me to the easement question, which you had stipulated, that ability to grant oneself an easement, that becomes a question. And how old is this house lot with the house on it now? How old is that house, do you know?
Probably from the mid to late 80s.
Okay. And so that probably was the restrictions on that property to develop probably were not what they are today. I think reflecting on the prior code enforcement positions, most everything was in general construction, zone general construction in Derry. So I'm thinking that's how that house ended up being built there, because it probably didn't have enough frontage then. Certainly doesn't have enough frontage today to have built a house on. So it takes me back to the purpose of trying to subdivide this anyway. I guess I'm not really clear on that, if there's some substantial reason for that.
Well, we're not asking for a subdivision.
Okay.
Gino owns both of these lots. It's 2 lots right now, and it'll stay 2 lots after we're done if this is granted. All we're asking for is the southerly portion of Lot 113, which essentially is that area running along the wire fence to the road, to be a portion to the back lot 84-3 so that Gino can get from Drew Road in Derry to the back lot on 84-3 in the future, without having to cross all of those wetlands that we went through just now on 65 acres in the back. And in terms of an easement, you know, in the future, when he goes to sell the property, he could reserve an easement to himself. But as we discussed at the last meeting, reserving an easement of that size on this lot that then gets conveyed to a future buyer is sort of a situation that would be ripe for neighbor disputes. There's going to be a scope of the easement. If Gino wants to do something in the future that wasn't contemplated now, you know, the question arises, well, was it within the scope of the original easement? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. You know, in that situation, even if he did an easement and there's no question about the scope, there's going to be now a situation where if he conveys this property in the future subject to an easement, you know, Gino's now using someone else's property and they can disagree with whether, you know, so it's just cleaner, you know, I think in the future to avoid potential future neighborly disputes and headaches and potential litigation, to essentially just create this channel of land that extends lot 84-3 down the property boundary across 113 to Drew Road, really for access to get back there, in light of the restrictions in the back with all the wetlands. And you know, this property in the front, 113, certainly nothing's changing with respect to the Hampstead portion. It's all wetlands, which leaves the portion in Derry, and there's already a house there. It's already developed. It already has a U-shaped driveway, one portion in Derry, one portion in Hampstead. There's more wetlands out back. I mean, the development potential in this front lot is pretty much maxed out. All that being said, there's sort of an underutilized portion of land on the very southerly end, and that's the portion that we are proposing become part of lot 84-3 to provide the access to the back.
I yield. Anybody else have any questions?
Sure.
Mr. Corbett?
Say that it was, sorry, lot 113 that's kind of maximized to this point?
Yes.
So this is where I'm, to be very honest, having a tough time, that we've got currently 65 acres in lot 84. We have 7 in lot 113. We're now going to take away the only developable area left at 113 for future hypothetical uses that 84 may want down the road that they're not using today. And I really don't see a hardship as to why this land needs to be split up if it's not being used currently. There's the same argument that you're making that could be used without an easement, you know, isn't being made for me today. There's nothing that's stopping the applicant from using this land. I just, to hear all of the future hypotheticals, I don't see a hardship here, and I'm having a very tough time finding one.
Yeah, there's nothing, I mean, certainly right now, there's nothing stopping Gino from crossing this land onto his backland. Certainly right now. He does want to do some agricultural, personal farming in the back, and eventually, sooner or later, and maybe sooner than later, he wants to sell this property in the front. So this is really just about preserving access to the back lot. And whether, you know, he has the ability to cross this area in the front now, and may not have it later, I think isn't really the main point of the hardship argument. The point of the hardship argument is, regardless of whether he currently has the ability or not, he can't really get there from the other portion of his property.
Right now what he's doing is, you own both, you can use both, but you're hindering the future buyer of 113 from ever doing anything with the property, because you're deciding, well, I want that land now even though I'm not using it. I don't want a future person to have it. And that's what I don't see how that really meets any of the criteria, to be perfectly frank.
If theoretically, like I said, he could reserve an easement when he sells the property.
But we're not here to talk theories, we're here to talk what's happening, reality.
Right, and there's certainly more than one way to accomplish this. And one of them would be wait until you sell the property, and when you sell it, reserve an easement over that area that provides you access to the back lot. That would be a way to do it. The problem is that's not always the best way to do things from a planning perspective, because like I said, I can't count on two hands the amount of times I've represented clients in court for years and years fighting about scopes of easements and boundaries of easements and proper uses of easements. I mean, it happens all the time.
Sorry to interrupt. I just also don't think the best use is that the only frontage 113 has is via an access easement. That's their only frontage on Derry.
No, it wouldn't be an access easement.
It says here, proposed access easement.
That's for the benefit of, it would be for the benefit of the back lot. Lot 113 would retain fee title to that entire area, including the area where their driveway is. 41.31 feet of frontage would remain owned by 113. It'd be subject to an access easement.
Yeah, so the only area that they have left is the access easement that they're granting to 84. That otherwise 84 was taking anyways. So we're, again,
Yeah.
the only thing left is now we've created 41 feet that 84 still has rights to. I'm having a very tough time with it, so I guess I'll relent. I don't really have anything else to add other than going in circles.
I mean, I guess theoretically Gino could get rid of that driveway. Then the house would only have access across the Hampstead lot. I don't even know necessarily whether that addresses the concern you have. But, you know, if we're talking about potential, the idea here is that, you know, my client would like access to the back lot without having to cross 4 wetlands when he sells the property one day. And from a planning perspective, we think this is far superior to an easement. And, you know, ultimately, the case stands on its own merits. It stands on the 5 criteria. We think they've been satisfied, and we think all the wetlands out back, the 4 channels that he'd have to cross to get down there from the other side are a hardship. And it's a 65-acre lot back there. You know, this is almost a mile up the road or whatever it is. So, you know, it's a pretty unique situation, and you know, we think it's a reasonable ask, and that the criteria have been satisfied.
I guess this is the last point, and even though I said I would relent, how will this not reduce the value of lot 113 when you go to sell if there's nothing developable on that land, because we took away the only developable land?
How will it not reduce the value of lot 1? I mean, presumably, I mean, I guess it might reduce the value of it as soon as you siphon off 1.64 acres. But, you know, that's not really entirely relevant to the 5 variance criteria, because that lot is part of the application. It's not like in a butter. It's not going to devalue surrounding properties, because the surrounding properties are the properties that surround the site that's the subject of the application. That lot itself, that lot is the subject of this application. So, you know, maybe the assessed value for 84-3 goes up a little and comes down a little for 113, and at the end of the day, it's a wash, and Gino owns both of them right now. Or maybe they wouldn't change at all. I don't know. I'm not an appraiser, so I can't tell you the value of that particular 1.64 acres as it relates to being removed from or added to either lot.
That's fair.
Anybody, Mr. Burgess?
The Tripp has its hand
Mr.
up.
Tripp, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So this is, I'm looking at sheet 1 of 1 on the lot adjustment plan, lot line adjustment plan. So am I correct in assuming that there's no change to the lot line adjustment?
Oh, there is a change.
We have revised the proposed lot line from the last meeting. At the first meeting, we were proposing that the new lot line run all the way to the Hampstead line, leaving 0 feet of frontage for this lot 113 in the town of Derry.
It appears that what you're doing is you're just leaving the lot line as it was last time, and you're just granting an easement to, what's the...
It's both. We shifted the lot line and we added an easement.
Well, if you shifted the lot line, then why do they need an easement?
Because that would be to preserve the future access to the back lot. You know, it's right now.
Are you moving the lot line on Drew Road 41 feet to the left?
Correct, as compared to last time when that lot line ran straight down to the Hampstead boundary, leaving 0 feet of frontage for Lot 113 in Derry. We have now shifted the lot line to the left, to the south, and
Yeah.
preserved
Bottom of the
41.31
lot
feet
line.
of frontage in the town of Derry on Lot 113.
So then why do they need an easement if the lot line is shifted?
That would be hypothetically in the future, once the lots get conveyed, it would be reserved for the back lot. That's not an easement that's running for the benefit of 113. Lot 113 would become subject to the easement for the benefit of the back lot. So it's not an easement.
But the lot line is shifted, so it's not part of 113.
So I think, if I can interject, I think the discussion of the easement is a hypothetical in lieu of the granting of the variance. That's the discussion Mr. Corbett has been bringing forward. And it is one that I've entered into as well as to why an easement can't work here. I think the last time that these gentlemen were before us, there was discussion about complexities in past cases and that it's frowned upon. And kind of paraphrasing, I think we can go to Mrs. Owen if we need more information on case law relative to applicable self-appointed easements. I think Mr. Corbett's point is that the easement could be granted in the future, so why do they need the variance?
May I say something?
You may.
So I'm not looking to just cut through. Right now, that's all an easement's going to allow me to do, as I understand, is just going to allow me to cut through. That's a nice field. It's fully fenced in. I plan on utilizing that field for agricultural purposes. If I give myself an easement, I don't have the right to use that field.
You could negotiate that type of easement.
It just gets really messy. I think it'd be a lot cleaner to just, I've been there.
A lot of real estate transactions myself with that one, so I would have to disagree.
Okay. I think it's just a lot cleaner at the end of the day, as I own both properties, to just shift the lot line over. The easement that we have down here on Drew Road, that shaded area, that's just so we don't have to cut any existing trees down. We're just utilizing what's there. I'm trying not to have any more impact than we already have. That's the whole purpose of that easement there, and the whole purpose of the lot line adjustment that we're trying to get right now.
So let me give a hypothetical for how this easement could potentially get messy in the future. So
See, before that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, I don't want to hear hypotheticals.
not a well, it's not. It's
So we'll yield, let you go ahead and speak.
So the easement's going to arise when Gino sells the property. Let's say Gino sells the property next week. And next week, all he wants to do is what he wants to do right now. He wants to grow some blackberries and some raspberries in the backyard for his own personal purposes. So he reserves an easement for that purpose, because that's all the current intention is. Then, maybe next year he wants to put a little farm stand out there, and he wants to build a little parking lot for people to swing by. They can buy his raspberries under some agritourism thing, a little farm stand. If he reserved the original easement for his own personal use, with just a little driveway or something, and then he sold the property, he now can't change the scope of the easement without the consent of the new owner who has received the easement. And the new owner could say, well, that's not what the easement says. We lock that in at closing, and now if you want to build a little farm stand, you're overburdening the easement. It's outside the scope of the easement, and that's not what we agreed to. So
Could I hold you for a second? Let me just clarify what I think I heard you or didn't hear you say. The new owner could do, I missed a word there, if he wanted to set up a blackberry stand.
Right. If he conveyed an easement at the closing to the new buyer that reserved an easement to himself just for access to the back, because all he wants to do right now is to access the back to grow some of his own crops. That's it. But say a year or two from now, he wants to build a little farm stand and sell them to the public and install a little shed to collect the money and a little parking area for people on there. If he didn't reserve that easement initially, then it's now outside the scope of the initial grant, and he can't just do it at that point. He would need
The easement to set up the shack to sell the stuff versus
need
being
another
able to
easement.
traverse it.
He would need more permission from the owner who now owns the property instead of him, and he doesn't have it in the original easement. It's outside the scope of the original easement because it's not something that he originally planned to do when he granted the original easement. And you could use any number of hypotheticals for how that can become messy in the future. That's why we think to eliminate all of that, you just maintain this strip of land, essentially give it from the front lot to the back lot. Any future buyer who buys this lot is going to see exactly what they're getting, and they're either going to agree to it or they're not going to. If they like it, then they'll buy it, and if they don't, they'll move on.
And in this hypothetical, there's nowhere on the 65 acres that currently exist where we could put this farm stand instead?
No.
There's not a single
All
area.
ledge and wetland.
The entire lot 84
Yeah.
can't handle this?
Yeah, it's mostly all ledge and wetland.
If you
Yeah,
flip
absolutely.
to the Promised Land survey, it's 4 sheets. It's not great back there. It's lots of ledge, it's lots of wetland.
Wooded, this area that we have right now that we're proposing is all cleared field. It's literally hay. So it's perfect for agricultural. I already have raspberries and blueberries out there right now, and yeah, I would love to throw a farm stand in a little parking area and grow on it as the years go on with my family, but not trying to get into a messy easement and problems down the road with neighbors.
I guess in the end, and
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
May I
sir.
just interject one thing here, please? I'm looking at your map, one of one, okay, which doesn't have the cutout in it. To me, it looks like you have 2 driveways, right? One that's in Derry and one that's in Hampstead.
Correct.
Pretty much, right? So if you wanted to build that farm stand, why don't you just put it over on the Hampstead side, in that one area that belongs to you already?
Well, the plan would be to sell that lot in the future.
Huh?
The plan would be to sell 96 True Road in the future. So I wouldn't have access or ownership of that Hampstead driveway.
You've already got driveways.
So I want to interject here and kind of clarify something, right? Because the area in Hampstead actually belongs to the property with the house lot.
Yes.
And I think I was going the same direction early on, which was thinking that was going to get subdivided out as well. So essentially that parcel in Hampstead belongs to the residents with the home.
That's not changing.
I'm sorry?
That's not changing.
Right, and so hence, going back to just the discussion about the easement and setting up a BlackBerry stand, you have to get somebody's permission that was purchasing the house with the lot
Right.
to set that up.
So, okay, this is where I'm totally confused.
And that being said, I think to focus back on the question, which is you're seeking relief for, is having a frontage with less than 200 feet, and you want to subdivide that. And I think, Ms. Owen, do you happen to have the article section on that, what the allowance is for that offhand? It's 16548B2. I can look in my book if I need.
16548.B.2.
Yeah, do you have that language right there in front of you?
I do.
You do. Mr. Tripp, care to
says-
cite that for us, please?
Minimum lot frontage. The minimum lot frontage required in this district shall be 200 feet.
And does that specify for a residence?
It is in low-density residential district LDR.
And it does specify for a residence for frontage.
The property located in low-density LDR requires a minimum frontage of 200 feet.
It's page 123 of the,
Yeah, so the issue is that you're essentially subdividing this. You've got something that doesn't conform when you understand that the point, Mr. Mackey started this, did he not, Ms. Owen?
Yes.
Yeah. When you understand the point that this was non-conforming to begin with, relative to frontage within the town, with a residence on it, what we're doing is making something even less conforming, essentially, and that's the relief that this board would be voting on. understand that the frontage is, in the language, is within the town of Derry. The frontage on this lot, not hypothetically, does meet the frontage criteria in spirit.
Right. As a practical matter, we have 407, as a practical matter, we currently have 565 feet of frontage on this lot. Now, when I say this lot, I'm talking about the portion in Hampstead and the portion in Derry. But as a practical matter, they're utilized cohesively, and when you're out there using the lot, the boundary, the municipal boundary is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So we have 565 feet of frontage existing, and we're proposing now to have 477 feet of frontage, with 41 of that staying in the town of Derry. So, you know, when you're looking at frontage requirements, the purpose of them is to ensure that you have enough room for safe and adequate access, and you have essentially don't have flag lots. You don't want all the buildable area to be in the back and then a bunch of skinny areas in the front by the road. Neither of those are concerns here. And really what the hardship test is whether there's a substantial relationship between the purpose and application of the particular requirement you're asking to waive. And those are the two purposes of frontage variances. And, you know, we're not going to have a flag lot here if the frontage is granted, and we're not going to have a tiny lot here if the variance is granted. It really is just the municipal boundary. If that municipal boundary was gone, this proposal is permitted by right, and it's completely compliant with zoning. So it's really this artificial municipal boundary that creates a situation where most of the frontage is in Hampstead and only a tiny portion is in Derry. But from a practical matter, when you're out there using the lot, there's no difference. You have a U-shaped driveway. They have one driveway in Hampstead. They have one driveway in Derry. I mean, the access is fine. The access isn't changing. Nothing on the ground is changing. There's not going to be any over-congestion. There's not going to be any congested development, no access issues. Fire, ambulance can still get all in and out of there. Everything's remaining exactly the same as it is. We just are essentially creating a channel that runs from Drew Road to the back lot for future access.
So holding to the language, and this is directed to the board, the language says 200 feet of frontage in the town of Derry, essentially. And what this board, the purview of the board is to decide whether or not they want to give that relief of less than 200 feet and essentially in the town of Derry, and become more non-conforming than is currently there, based on the language that's in the ordinance that code enforcement has cited on.
Mr. Chairman, wouldn't
Yes,
that
sir.
be two non-conforming lots, technically?
Well,
Would you only give
that
them
is
43 feet?
That is correct. It
That's
would
what I'm trying
become
to- you
two
know, that's what bothers
non-conforming
me.
lots. I'm sorry, again?
I'm sorry, that's what bothers me some.
How would they become two non-conforming lots?
We only have 43 feet on one and 141 on the other. They both are non-conforming because they're under 200.
The other lot would be 360.
Yeah, the
We're
other-
not talking about the rest of them.
No, that he's referring to, once you move this frontage, that becomes, I think, what, 129 feet, 130 feet of frontage on the subdivided lot, and then 41 feet beside it.
There would be 41.31 feet for Lot 113. That's the only relief we need from this board. Lot 84-3 has,
100 right now.
200 feet of frontage right now. And it all,
200 and then another 100.
200, but then if you look at the Promised Land survey, that gives you the greater view of the lot itself, and you flip to sheet 2 of 4 on the Promised Land survey, it's got more frontage down there.
They're actually adding 87.36 to the frontage for 62 Drew.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, Mr. Donlin.
I apologize for not being here last time, but just so I'm on the, so you guys are proposing 87 some odd feet on Drew Road to the, whatever it is, approximately 200 feet in the back. That wedge of land is going to become part of 84-3 now.
Correct.
And then just a rough ballpark of the dry area at the top, like pretty much centered around where it says map 7. Lot 84 on 404 of Promised Land. How many acres would you guess that is?
The dry area between the two wetland channels?
Yeah, like pretty much centered around where it says map 7.
Yeah.
Roughly, I would say roughly 8 acres.
Okay, that seems fair. And just a question on the I believe the word is viatic or something like that, with the restrictions on deeds, like you only can walk to it, you can't meander or whatever. I may be wrong on the word, but in any event, what stops you from being, making an unrestricted deed now as opposed to, I get your point about the land, so you don't have to reiterate that, but what's stopping you from making a unrestricted deed to it now so that you don't need the neighbor in your proposed scenario of when you sell it and you would need to ask them because you want to put whatever you want to put?
So just like a deed that essentially reserves that area and says that Gino can do whatever he wants with it in the future?
Yeah.
And not put any limitations on it? That's a good question. I don't know if I've seen blanket easements like that except for like utility easements, but even those are when you're talking about building future utilities, but it's a certain area, you don't know exactly where it's going to go. But then after that, it says, okay, it'll actually, once we build it, be like 10 feet on the side of each side of the line. So I don't know. I mean, all easements need a scope. That's sort of one of the requirements. And, we just think that this is the cleanest way to do it rather than trying to burden lot 113 with an easement that, in terms of devaluing the lot, that's probably going to be what scares off a potential future buyer, because if this lot line adjustment gets approved, then the buyer is going to look at exactly what the lot lines are, and they're going to see that they have 41.31 feet of frontage where the southerly driveway is, and they're going to know it's a triangle-shaped lot and that this lot next door is owned by someone else. Theoretically, someone else who lives next door can do whatever they want with it, but at least they're doing what they want with their own property, not whatever they want with your property just because they have an easement over it.
I mean, that's a fair enough statement, but I don't really see a major distinction, because if they would, under either circumstance, the owner, whoever the owner of 84-3 is at the time, would have unfettered access to it one way or the other. So that's going to be conveyed in the deed. Like when you buy whatever the smaller lot is now, 113, potato, you know what I mean? Like,
right. I guess the hypothetically there can be liability considerations in there. So let's say that the lot line adjustment gets denied and Gino does an easement and reserves a blanket easement over this area to do whatever he wants to do. And the future buyer looks at it and goes, okay, I'm going to buy this property. He gets to do whatever he wants to do. Say Gino builds a toxic waste dump, or there's some environmental concern there. Environmental liability can also attach to the owner in addition to the user who caused it. So there could be potential environmental concerns where someone wouldn't necessarily want someone else having a blanket easement on their property to do whatever they want with it. Whereas if the lot becomes, the land gets severed off, it becomes part of the back lot, the buyer never owns it, the buyer's not having someone else use property subject to an easement, and Gino has some environmental issues out there, the other person's completely out of it. There's no liability that would attach.
fair enough. So I guess what I'm seeing, if I'm reading the tea leaves here, just going on, because you brought up the flag lot or rat tail lot, or I can't remember how you said, I think you referred to it as a flag lot. Wouldn't, in essence, you be creating that with that 8-acre parcel up to back now?
If this was the sole means of access, yes. If I would,
And
that would,
at,
if
you
this
know,
was the
5 to 8 acres, I don't know what this is, LDR, what's that, 2 acres apiece?
3.
Yeah, so theoretically, you could be creating like a rat tail neighborhood.
It's a 3-acre minimum in LDR.
What's that?
It's a 3-acre minimum in LDR.
3?
There'd be no,
Okay, so
there'd be
either
no
way, more than one.
development.
Right.
Yeah.
But that back lot, 84-3, already has 2 other means of access with frontage on Drew Road further to the south. So I wouldn't really call it a flag lot where you're trying to have, you know, one big buildable area out back and one narrow strip running down. It's sort of it's
Because
definitely
it
a
would
unique
matter on where the
parcel.
road went in.
What's that?
It would matter where the access to that dry piece came from, obviously, right?
Sure. Yeah, and that's why we need it over here, because of all the wetlands in the back prevent him from getting at it from the other side.
Very good, thank you.
All set, Mr. Donlin?
I am, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Owen, do we have a contiguous stipulation in the ordinances on frontage? Do you know offhand?
I don't know offhand.
It would seem to me that when we had, what was that address? Starts with a B, doesn't it? Yeah. The contiguous past case, sorry, folks, we're just conferring, trying to recall a case when we can't remember what we had for breakfast this morning, so. Anything on there, Ms. Owen?
I haven't found anything yet.
I think it kind of breaks it up, right? I mean, the challenge is that your predecessor, Ms. Owen, had determined that this was not 200 feet of frontage.
Correct.
Ballard. Thank you. Did Ballard have a contiguous stipulation on that cul-de-sac that we had to review?
That was going to take away, basically what they were going to do, they were going to force it.
Could you speak into the microphone?
If I remember correctly, the way they were dividing something was then going to force extra land somewhere else, but it was also going to make the other lot somewhat unconforming. Like, it was positioning another lot to become, like, to not get a say into what they were, I forget the exact name. That one was more complicated because it required a party who didn't want to be acquiring the land to be forced to acquire the land as part of it.
So the two frontages, again, total, you had how much there? 168?
On which lot?
41.31 for 96 Drew Road, and then adding an additional 87.36 to 62 Drew Road.
And again, the only thing we're asking for relief from is the frontage for lot 113. The frontage for lot 84-3 is already compliant, and it's just getting more. Lot 113 is deficient in terms of the frontage that's located in the town of Derry. It's only currently 41 plus 87, whatever that is, 130 something, on paper. But as a practical matter, the frontage is all the way over to across the Hampstead boundary to that other pin that's on the edge of North Salem Road. So it's really, a unique situation where the frontage in terms of how the property is used is sufficient, but the frontage on paper, because of a technicality in the ordinance, makes it deficient. And that sort of inherent inequity in the zoning ordinance is precisely what the variance mechanism is designed to alleviate for landowners. Because the purposes that frontage aims to achieve are not threatened if this variance is granted. It's still plenty of access. Lots are still plenty big enough. It's just a wonky thing in the ordinance that, it is what it is, but that's why the variance is there.
Greg, you said 41.31 and the other was 87.36, is that correct? Yeah, okay.
When lot 113, 113, Tac 2, and 113, Tac 3 were, I assume, subdivided off of the original lot of 113, is that a true statement? The three lots to the south of 113, based on the numbering?
I would assume so, but that was before you, right?
Yeah, I have no idea about that.
I assume so based on the numbering, but that happened before Gino owned the property.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Are those still vacant lots, or are they just not represented in this map because it isn't relevant?
If you look at the Northam plans, there is an existing building shown on lot 113. Mm-hmm. We didn't survey further down because we didn't need to for purposes of this application. 113-3. The Kevlik property. It's immediately to the south of this parcel.
Well,
Oh. Building 94.
So once you if you were to get this relief, the area there, looks like Vermont, What does that get changed to?
That would become lot 84-3. And everything else would stay exactly the same as to lot 113.
Lot 84 dash what?
84-3 would acquire the area to be adjusted from lot 113.
If I may, Chairman?
Ms. Owen, yes.
Under section 165-9, approved street required for a residential lot, it does touch on the minimum lot frontage shall be a continuous unbroken line along one approved public street. Each lot shall face on an approved public street. No buildings or structures shall be constructed. No use shall be established on a lot having less frontage than the minimum dimension indicated in the district which the lot is located. And that's, I think, what started looking further into the definitions of public street and frontage from there.
Got it, very good. We won't forget this one again.
What was the ordinance number?
That's section 165-9, approved street required for residential lot.
So once you have 84-3, does that adjoins the 60-something acres out behind it? Is what you're looking to do?
Right. It's not a subdivision because it's 2 lots now and it'll stay 2 lots. It's just that area of 113, the strip that you said looks like Vermont, is going to become lot 84-3. And they would share the frontage and dairy in that area, with 41 to lot 113 and 87.36 to lot 84-3.
Very good. Mr. Burgess, you are clear on that at this point?
I'm still clear as mud here, but that's,
Lauren, you have any questions? Mr. Tripp, you all set?
I just have a question that I'd like
Please do.
clarified. So after the subdivision, how much frontage will be on lot 113?
So it's not a subdivision, it's just a lot line adjustment. We're not creating any new lots. We're just adjusting the boundary between 84-3 and 113. But if the variance is approved and the lot line adjustment becomes final, then lot 113 will have 41.31 feet of frontage in dairy. And lot 84-3 in this area at least will have 87.36 feet of frontage in dairy.
So the lot line adjustment, it splits off part of 113 and attaches it to 84-3?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The strip all the way at the bottom that says area to be adjusted, which is 1.64 acres.
And I apologize because I was referring to it as a variance earlier as well, not a lot line adjustment. But you all set, Mr. Tripp?
I am.
Mr. Corbett?
Yeah, so a lot of the question's been on the benefit to lot 84 for the 64 Drew Road. What is the benefit to 96 Drew Road to be losing this much space and no longer having the frontage here?
I don't necessarily know that there's a benefit. I don't think the board needs to find that there's a benefit to lot 113 in order to grant the variance. As a practical matter, there's no benefit per se, but there's also no harm either, because the area that we're proposing to give from 113 to 84-3 is the underutilized, portion that's against the southerly boundary. And now we're retaining the existing driveway on lot 113 in the town of Derry with 41 feet of frontage. So, in terms of looking at the benefit and potential harm to each lot, I think it's sort of a wash for 113. Nothing's changing. They're not really using that area anyways. And 84-3 gets access to the upland that can't really be accessed from the other side of the lot. So I would say it's a net positive.
To the property, I would disagree. To the property owners, potentially. But, what I'm hearing, if it's underutilized and the owner owns both properties, Why is this the only way it can be utilized? Which goes back to my first point. It's not being used. It's hard to say it's underutilized when the owner owns both, isn't using what could be used because he's claiming he can't use it when he could be the whole
He
time.
can, right? He can use it right now.
I am using it right now, but I do plan to sell the other property in the future. So when that
So
property
then what is
sells,
it
I can't use it.
underutilized on? It's
I just mean
underutilized for
underutilized
the
in that
use
it's not
of
being
how
current.
we're using it on 113?
It's just
Because
not
right-
being currently used by Lot 113. It's sort of just empty space.
But couldn't I argue it is being used by 113 since it's the same owner?
Sure, Gino has a renter in there, so there's someone else with a real estate interest in there, but it's a leasehold interest. But, you know, I don't think any of that, what we were just discussing, I mean, I'm not sure which variance criteria that would relate to.
As I'm thinking about the hardship of why to make Lot 113 more non-conforming, what I'm hearing is Lot 84 can't be used. There's nothing buildable, we can't do anything up there. Why not just sell Lot 84 and use 113 as intended, rather than making 113 more non-conforming?
I mean, the hardship analysis is owing to the special conditions, and there's no fair and substantial reason to strictly apply the requirement here. So you have to look at the purpose of frontage. What's the purpose of frontage? Mostly it's just for safe and adequate access. If this variance is granted, the access to Lot 113 does not change.
Then the spirit of the ordinance is that you need to have 200 feet. You already don't have it. You want to reduce it down to 40. How is that within the spirit of the ordinance for 113 when we can be using this land anyways?
The spirit of the ordinance is not the strict literal ordinance, it's the spirit of it. And the spirit of frontage is to have sufficient area to access your property and to prevent flag lots and overcrowding. As a practical matter, the spirit of the frontage of Lot 113 runs all the way through Hampstead for 477 feet of frontage. It's a technicality, it has nothing to do with spirit. You know,
No, because that's a lot. This is a whole tax map in Hampstead as well. Map 2, Lot 38, just like map 10, 113 is Derry. So to continuously say, that has nothing to do with Derry. You know, really, I understand it's all part of the property and we can include some of it, but none of this frontage that you keep referencing matters because that's not our town.
it doesn't matter under the strict literal interpretation of the Derry
Derry's
zoning
laws
ordinance.
can't rule Hampstead though. So the strict interpretation would just be that Derry's laws deal with Derry property. So to keep saying, yeah, but I have it somewhere else, but not where you need it.
There's a difference between a lot that has 41 feet of frontage and this. Say the boundary wasn't there, and that was just a separate lot in Derry. There's a difference between this lot that has 41 feet of frontage. There's a difference between a lot that just has 41 feet of frontage, period, paragraph, and a lot that is essentially a double lot located in two towns with 477 feet of frontage total.
So you can agree to disagree on that one.
All right. Anybody else from the board have questions? I want to get public input. They have an opportunity to rebut these statements and comments that have been made. Seeing no gestures there from anybody. Mr. Ghani, Mr. Obimba, you all set? Gentlemen, you have anything else? We'll take public comment. You'll have an opportunity to rebut, okay?
Sure.
Just hang on a second, see if anybody comes up there. And Mr. Preventer, we have some phone numbers there for public. Is he in the room?
Mr. Chair, they're online right now.
So anybody at home who wishes to dial in, you're going to dial 646-558-8656. Your meeting ID is 323-909-140. Once you're in, you're going to press star 9 to raise your hand. And if you're having any technical issues, you're going to dial 603-845-5585.
All right, just to keep it separated, and essentially you look at this as a rebuttal, the butters have an opportunity. But just to keep it clear, if there's anybody here that wants to support this application, please raise your hand. All right, seeing nobody there within the room. You have anybody out there at all, Mr. Preventer?
Seeing none, rise online.
All right, thank you. So anybody who's opposed to this would like to speak in opposition, this would be your opportunity to come up. Is there anybody here that wishes to do that? Yes, sir. All right, gentlemen, why don't you let this gentleman sit there and just have you step back to the first row. Good evening, and your name and address, please?
Good evening, Board. My name is Jim Roddy, 84 Drew Road, and I don't want to confuse you. The number 84 has been thrown around quite a bit. I'm residential address 84 Drew Road. I'd like to make a couple of clarifications and ask a question, but I'm going to be very brief. My property is on an easement. I can only access my property through an easement. 86 Drew Road has the primary driveway. 84 is the primary ownership of the driveway. 84 to the south, which is me, 88 to the north, can only access our properties from 86 Drew. I didn't have farm stands, but I had tables out there for years when I was healthy, selling my extra vegetables and herbs and things like that. My neighbor, the only way I could access my front is through the easement. My neighbor, the owner, was extremely gracious, always extremely gracious. Oh, and by the way, I've lived there for 38 years, and he's lived there for 39 years. So the argument about, I think I heard the words messy or muddy or something like that. Well, that's a character thing, if you ask me. We have a perfectly good working relationship. Second of all, this is a clarification from a couple weeks ago. I heard reference to walking a mile or riding a mile. I would ask the board to ask the applicant to provide a survey distance from where 62 Drew, his new residential address, starts, the driveway at 62, up to, through the cleared property, to the junction of 94 and 96. Basically, that strip of land in question, a distance from the street at 62 to that junction, I sit here and venture to say that's no greater than 3,000 feet, probably closer to 2,600, probably 1/2 a mile, not a mile, but I'll give 3/5 of a mile, maybe 3,000 feet. I just want to make that clarification. But there was a lot of talk about easements, and I just want to let you know that property, smack dab in the middle, is one owner, 2 easements. And I'm happy to, that's all I have to say. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Roddy?
No, sir.
Seeing no gestures? That's it.
Thank you.
You all set?
Thank you for coming.
Anybody else wish to speak in opposition? Seeing no one rise, Mr. Provencher, anybody out there?
Here we have plenty in attendance, but no one is raising their hand at this time.
Okay, very good. Gentlemen, come back up to the dais. Just as a matter of interest, any information on that frontage on, or that boundary on 62 Drew Road? Plus, minus, any answer at all?
I don't know exactly what the distance is, if it's 3/5 of a mile or 4/5 of a mile or a mile. If I said a mile, I probably meant it as hyperbole. It's far. It's a narrow 65-acre property. However, the board can look at the plans, especially the Promised Land Survey Plan on the first page, and you can see the entire area. And I don't have a scale with me, but you can draw your own conclusions based on how far it is. It's a good distance. There's quite a few. There's at least a dozen properties in between.
Okay. Anything else you wish to add?
Nothing further.
We'll probably be heading to deliberation, and just want to make sure you have opportunity to speak your mind. Anybody on the board projecting into your deliberative notes wish to have any questions answered before we do so? Mr. Tripp, you all set?
I'm all set.
And Mr. Burgess?
Yep,
All right.
good to go.
We can take a motion and go into deliberation.
So moved.
Mr. Tripp has the
I'll
motion.
second it.
Mr. Burgess has a second. All in favor of deliberation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Anybody wish to lead off?
I don't see the hardship at all, personally. There are other opportunities if they wanted to, do something else, they could. There are other ways of getting around this, I think, besides restricting, having 2 properties that would be both non-conforming in the town of Derry. So it's just, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Mrs. Moran, anything?
I have a question. What is the total frontage, regardless of zip code, on the 113?
I'm sorry, again?
The frontage, the total amount regardless of zip code?
Proposing 477.94.
And what did the other one have?
84.3 would have 287.36.
I think I'm the odd person out because I'm leaning on the technicality part too of it. But then again, I wouldn't know what the future would hold if by giving him the variance, what it could change.
I just don't see an argument for why we would make lot 113 more non-conforming than it currently is, or future hypotheticals.
I agree with that.
As I go through the 5 criteria, I have a tough time really seeing any of them. As I was going through, I tried to kind of touch on each, and I was almost getting, you don't have to prove that it's not contrary or that it is observed or that substantial justice is done. I wasn't really getting any of that. I don't feel that substantial justice is done by making this move. I don't feel it absorbs the spirit of the ordinance. I didn't really get any warm and fuzzies when I asked about the values of the surrounding properties. And I really just don't see the hardship.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of access from both of them.
Contrary to the public buyers, I really think it impacts future buyers. I have a very tough time seeing how this meets any of the 5. You only asked about one, but just figured I'd ramble once I got going.
No, I still had all my thoughts in my head, so I had to talk out loud.
Mr. Tripp?
I have a very difficult time believing that we should create a more non-conforming lot by approving the lot line adjustment, because the town of Derry has a vested interest in, the
Compliance?
the compliance of the lots in the town to the zoning ordinances. And should something like this be approved, it's just mind-fuddling, but, well, I don't know, but going from 128 feet of frontage to 41 feet of frontage is, I know that, as the applicant said, one of the reasons for frontage is to assure that the lots are separated by, an acceptable distance to keep density down. But I also believe that frontage is to provide line of sight so that people can get in and out. I don't know what the current owner is going to do with the property to be the lot line adjustment, but it's one of these things that since we don't know, then I would tend to agree that the lot frontage is there for a reason, and that on a hypothetical, if they want to do something that, diminishes the line of sight, then that's not in the public interest.
Okay. this took a lot of sorting out, and I think that each time you get a perception on it, you end up getting rerouted a bit to get clarity, but understanding that I think all the members sitting on this at this point have a clear view of this, has confidence in the vote, and in regards to the 5 criteria, this opposes the intentions of the town. And I think that as far as the parcel goes, as it sits now, is a fair and balanced parcel, though it's not completely conforming. I don't see that subdividing it or doing a lot line adjustment serves the property or the abutters in any positive way. I do wrestle with the hardship, and that's just because the complexity of this and the understanding of it. But now having clarity for what the intentions of the applicant are, I see other ways for them to accomplish their goal without subverting the town's ordinances and primarily just the spirit of the ordinance, which I don't typically like to hang a decision on. So, at any rate, those are my feelings on this. I don't love this request and this application, and will tend to cast my vote as such. That being said, I'd like to construct, as we typically do in the affirmative, any conditions to the property, subject to obtaining all state town permits and inspections is typical. That would include planning if this were to prevail. And I can't think of any other conditions on a hypothetical affirmation of this request that I could add. Anybody else?
Nope.
All right, seeing no gestures there, I guess we're ready to come out of deliberation.
So moved.
Mr. Tripp
second it.
affirms deliberation exit, and Mr. Burgess jumps on that wagon with a second. All in favor of coming out of deliberation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mrs. Moran, you have a motion to read.
I do, thank you. I make a motion on case number 25-122 for Shaughnessy Allard PLLC on behalf of owner Shade Tree Farm LLC and Gino Sparrow to grant a variance to the terms of Article 6, Section 165-48.b.2 of the Town of Derry zoning ordinance to allow for a lot line adjustment resulting in less than 200 feet of frontage located within the Town of Derry. Parcel ID 07084-003 and 10113 zoned LDR as presented with the following conditions. We had none. And this concludes the reading of the motion. I need a second, please.
I'll second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I actually take that back. We have one, subject to obtaining all state and town permits and inspections, and that concludes the reading of the motion.
I'll second it anyways.
Mr. Burgess holds that on to the floor with a second. That puts that motion on the floor. Any commentary? Finding of fact, Mr. Corbett.
Finding of fact for case 25-122, the board found that the applicants are requesting a variance to allow for a lot line adjustment for 96 Drew Road that will result in 41.31 feet of frontage located within the Town of Derry. The existing 96 Drew Road property contains frontage in both the Town of Derry and the Town of Hampstead. The existing home is located within the Town of Derry, and the existing driveway entrance is accessed from the Town of Hampstead. The property is located in the low-density residential zoning district, LDR, which requires a minimum frontage of 200 feet. The proposed lot line adjustment would leave 96 Drew Road with 41.31 feet of frontage and square feet of frontage in the Town of Derry, and add an additional 87.36 feet of frontage to 62 Drew Road. If the variance is approved, planning board approval is required. The board also includes all facts found in the meeting minutes for this application and incorporates all meeting minutes into its finding of facts and decisions. I did notice I tripped up. I said 41.31 square feet. It should just be feet. Otherwise, does anybody have any addendums or changes to make?
I haven't a change. It's not a variance, it's a lot line adjustment.
It's a variance to allow a lot line adjustment.
Oh, it's a variance to allow a lot line adjustment?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. I stand corrected.
Could you cite the other extension of lineal feet on that boundary? I think you had indicated the other was on Drew Road.
The additional 300.
87?
Yes. Yes, I did that. The 87.36 feet of frontage to 62 Drew Road.
Okay, got it. All right, I have no addendums to this. Mr. Burgess, you all set?
Good.
Everybody down the line? Very
I would
good.
note that there is access in Derry and Hampstead, not just Hampstead alone, to the existing dwelling.
Very good. I'll carry that on behalf of Mr. Donlin as a deciding member.
So the existing home is located within the town of Derry, and the existing driveway entrance is accessed from both the town of Hampstead and the town of Derry.
That's fair
Correct.
enough. All right. Thank you, Mr. Donlin, for sharing that.
First one to get one in.
All right. No addendums to that finding of fact. All in favor of moving this for a vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Tripp?
I vote no. I believe it's clearly not in the spirit of the ordinance.
Mr. Burgess?
I'm going to vote no also. I don't see a hardship, and it's not, I don't see where we would make two non-conforming properties.
Hey, Mrs. Moran?
I vote no as well. I don't see the hardship with both having frontage already. We don't have control over what Hampstead does, so I struggle with using those numbers as well.
The chair will vote no as well. I don't want to create more nonconformity in this matter, and I think this opposes the spirit of the ordinance for that specific purpose. So, gentlemen, obviously, you know you failed by a vote of, Mr. Corbett?
I'll make it unanimous. I was also a no. I think taking the non-conforming lot further non-conforming doesn't meet any of the 5 criteria.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Corbett. Gentlemen, obviously, you've failed any recourse to this. You have opportunity to ask this board for reconsideration after that recourse be Superior Court.
Thank you.
I suspect we'll hear from you again.
Good night.
Thank you. Sorry for skipping over you there.
I see how it is.
Usual, right?
I got one slip up on a finding of fact, and all of a sudden I got kicked out of voting. He doesn't mess around.
You would like to announce that you will depart for the evening? Step down? Go ahead.
I am going to step down for the night, just so it can be put on the record, please.
Good. All right. Thank you very much for being here, Ms. Moran, and have a good evening. Going forward, Mr. Dietzel, I'd like you to sit on this next case, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
This case up is 25-128. Is the applicant Mr. or Mrs. Dickerson here? Good evening, folks. Is there anybody here in the room to speak on this case as well? No one here? Okay.
Okay, good. What's next?
I'm sorry? It is, yeah, and Mr. Dietzel will sit for Ms. Moran. Folks, we ask for you to read the application as you've written it, and then we'll let you elaborate, and we'll barrage you with questions. I'm sure you've already seen this a bit.
Yeah, I'm a
Please
little nervous.
proceed.
This is the first time we've done anything like this, so coach us through if we're not doing something correctly. My name is James Dickerson, my wife Carol. We're 926 Whitney's Grove. Quickly, we come before you today due to an unfortunate set of circumstances, not because we set out to design a home that requires a variance. We purchased this property in June of 2024. It has 3 structures on it: a barn, a 2-bedroom cottage, and a 3-bedroom uninhabitable cottage, which is nearest the Big Island Pond. Our goal is to replace the deteriorated 3-bedroom cottage with a new 3-bedroom home and attached single-car garage. The picture on ZBA 2, the bottom, I never wanted to be a person who was going to buy a house on the lake and tear something perfectly good down. But if you take a look at that, you can see why this is considered uninhabitable. Our neighbors referred us to a highly recommended local engineering surveying group who had worked on Big Island Pond. The surveyor generated an existing conditions site plan and drew the setbacks based on Derry's zoning bylaws and their understanding of New Hampshire's Shoreland Water Protection Act. They assured us they had lots of experience in this and would be able to handle the shoreline permit. We were referred also to an architect to design our home. We worked with this architect to design a modest bungalow-style home like those that once lined the pond. She had lived on the pond for 10 years. Her heart was into this, and she knows what the character of the pond is. When we had finalized the design, the surveyor submitted the shoreland permit, and the application came back to us asking for additional information edits and including a more restrictive location for the shoreland setback than the one that was originally identified. In discussions with the shoreland administrator that reviewed the application, he admitted that the various regulations and definitions are confusing and at times contradictory to one another. Given the newly understood shoreland setback, the home we designed no longer fit within the buildable area. Since we have invested a significant amount of time and money on the house plans to this point of completion, and because there is no variance with shoreland, we are seeking a 5.26 side yard setback in one small area of our property where the bylaw requires 15 feet. You'll see from the site land plan that the portion of the side yard setback is oriented more like a front yard setback and therefore does not impact the width of the proposed home in the manner a side yard setback was intended to do. We believe that granting this variance will not negatively impact the public interest or the spirit of the zoning ordinance.
All right, so now I would like you to read your application to the board, and that
Okay.
is the way that we've asked for you to do it.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Okay, the variance will not be contrary to the public interest because the proposed home will not be closer to the pond than the existing scale of the home. Than the existing. The scale of the home is similar to its neighbors, and the area of encroachment into the setback is currently a paved driveway, affording access to the neighbor's house, and offers no natural woodland or aesthetic benefit to the neighborhood. We've been working with this neighbor, and he is willing to relocate the driveway. This driveway kind of bifurcates our property, running right in between the 2 cottages, and it is a hazard, especially to our young grandchildren walking from one place to the other. The new location at the front of the property would improve this dangerous configuration. By allowing the 2 dwelling units to remain, the replaced dwelling unit will be smaller in scale and fit more in with the character of the neighborhood. The benefit to the community is replacing a rundown, aging, seasonal cottage with a tastefully designed new home that will be occupied year-round. The spirit of the ordinance is observed because we are reducing the risk of accidents in the driveway, maintaining the waterfront setback to benefit the view of the pond, and improving the appearance of the existing dilapidated cottage. The request results in greater conformity with state and environmental standards. The side yard encroachment does not negatively impact abutting properties and balances the ordinance's intent with environmental preservation and site constraints. The unique shape of the property encourages multiple smaller structures rather than one large overbearing structure which would be out of context with neighboring homes. Substantial justice is done because the minimal area of encroachment towards the neighbor is currently asphalt driveway and will be offset now with landscaping and a handsome new home. Granting this variance will allow the existing scale of smaller dwelling units to continue to define this neighborhood and avoid the need to construct a larger one-bedroom, sprawling home on the property. The values of surrounding properties are not diminished because the neighborhood views to the pond are not compromised by this request. The aesthetics of the new home are respectful of the character of the neighborhood, and the views from the pond are maintained by the charming bungalow design. Granting the variance will not adversely affect the surrounding properties. Instead, it will enhance their value. Literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship, and no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of this provision to the property. Due to the unique configuration of our lot, there is a portion of our side setback that is oriented parallel to our front property line. Therefore, it does not serve to restrict the width of our home as side yard setbacks are designed to do. Instead, it limits the depth of our home front to rear. Yet we are nowhere near violating the front setback. Thus, granting a variance for this portion of the side yard setback would not accomplish the bylaw's intent to limit the width of our home. There is no change in use of the proposed. The existing structure is a 3-bedroom home, and we're proposing a 3-bedroom home with the addition of a single-car attached garage. The neighborhood homes have a mix of 0, 1, 2 car attached garages, so ours is a reasonable request. We believe we have met the criteria for paragraph 1A. The main hardship is that we based our design on an incorrect interpretation of the shoreline setback, and the cost to redesign at this stage would be very substantial. In addition, to require only one dwelling, we would have to raise 2 dwellings, one of which we are occupying now, while the other is going to be built. The cost to build would likely double. We would have to find alternative housing. We believe that granting this variance has minimal impact on the community, but a significant financial hardship on us.
Of the pictures of the buildings that are in this, which one are you living in now, and which one has to be torn down?
Okay. Oh, I got that. It's on the back.
All pictures on ZBA 2 are the house that is going to be torn down. There is a small cottage that you can barely see. Let me see if I can find it.
Could I interrupt you for just a second? Is ZBA 1 just showing other houses in the area?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Did you prepare these documents?
We did have some help preparing them, yes.
Okay, so ZBA 1 is just comparisons of
Those
other
are
homes.
houses right in the neighborhood.
ZBA 2, which one of those is it? It's the...
Those are the 4 sides of the house that is being torn down.
The stockade fence that I see there, is that along the roadside?
Boom.
On ZBA 2?
That is the driveway that is going to the neighbor's house that is going to be relocated. That is a good number of feet. I'm not sure exactly how much
So you would be
is our property.
relocating the neighbor's driveway?
Pardon?
Did I hear you say you will be relocating
Yes.
the neighbor's
We've
driveway?
been working with him, and he's very happy. They have 3 children and some grandchildren, and they think this would be a safer configuration for them also.
Okay. Who is that neighbor?
Go ahead. Jeff and Diane Perry.
Perry? Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, it's listed under Part 1 of their application. It looks like Lot 16-004.
Very good, thank you.
The cottage we're living in is on ZBA 8. The bottom 2 pictures.
Is ZBA what?
8.
staying in the light baby blue one?
Yes. The other is the barn that was there, yes.
All right, why don't you go ahead and you can kind of repeat, if you'd like, what you opened with, and explain to us what's going on.
I'm sorry. If I get off on a tangent somewhere, let me know. Bring me back, okay? I'm lost on this. No, basically, all I was going to end with is quickly, well, football is starting tonight, and my wife tells me that I'm entering the fourth quarter of my life. I'm 67. And in that fourth quarter plan, we just are trying to design a forever year-round home for us and for the children and grandchildren to visit. This is all first floor living that's in there. The other 2 bedrooms are just going to be upstairs for when they come to visit. And really the biggest hardship I worry about is if we had to squeeze this without the variance would be losing the 1-car attached garage, which at this point isn't a problem, but 10 years down the road, I don't want her walking the 100 feet in winter weather to go get a car. So I think that may end up eliminating our dream of this being a forever home.
Sure.
Mr. Corbett?
How much larger is the proposed home going to be than the existing structure? I'm sorry if I missed that earlier.
The structure here is about 20, I think with first and second floor, 2,200 square feet, I believe.
Currently today?
Our architect is, I think, on the Zoom. We can, if you want more specifics, we could ask her.
Do you know about what the current one is today?
What the existing one is today? No, I don't.
It's okay.
We have
Sure,
the,
find it.
Mr. Tripp?
All right, so the issue with why you had to relocate the proposed house,
Yes.
it was a misunderstanding of the setback that you needed from the pond?
We were originally led to believe that the front step of this house was where we had to measure. Went through with all that. That's what I had been given in writing, and we were then told because the front part of it was more screened in, that they were limiting 10 feet, and it had to move back 10 feet.
Say that again, please.
On the existing home there, we were originally led to believe that it was from the front step of that to the pond is how far we had to be back from the water. From that front step, there was a screened-in area before the main house, and Shoreland was eliminating that screen porch, so we had to move 10 feet further away from the pond.
Okay. So it went from the existing on sheet 1 of 2. So it went from 36.9 from the front of the house to the shoreline to 46.6?
I believe it was right around 47 feet, yes.
So what was the previous setback from the building from the lot line to the rear?
By the neighbor's property?
That was, the original, what we had planned, we had more than the 15 feet.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 30. Is that correct?
From the existing building itself?
Yeah.
I would be guessing it was about that, yeah.
So now you're still roughly 38 feet from the shoreline. Oh, wait a minute. You said that the screen porch doesn't count? On sheet 2?
The screening porch, we had to go back to 45 feet.
Yeah, we couldn't use the 35 feet, so
Can I get you both to speak into the microphone?
we had planned to use the 15-foot setback up to the 47 feet away from the pond. 37 feet from the pond. Now, this all had to be moved back 10 feet, so that would encroach
So that
in
it
on
would
that 15
include the
foot.
screen porch.
Because of the existing house's screen porch, yes.
So before the determination, you were 15 feet away from the back
Yes,
lot line?
yes,
Because right now it's 5.26,
yes,
and 5.26 and 10 is 15.
yes. So we moved back 10, and that's why we're in that 5 feet.
Yeah, I understand that now.
Sorry, during that was good leading questions. Why did we have to move it back to 10 feet? Was that the shoreline?
The interpretation from Shoreline, they said that they were reading rules and their interpretations changed this year.
It's actually from the main house to the shore,
Yeah.
rather than the screen porch to the shore. Okay. Okay,
Mr. Burgess?
Okay. I was out there today, and I met the young lady over here, and I'm sorry I couldn't talk to you because I'm on the zoning board. I should have told you that. I'm on the planning board instead.
It was nice to see you there, looking at things. For me, I'm very visual.
So these pictures that show the existing house don't do it full justice of its incapacity, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. It's worse than it shows. So that was my only thing about that.
Anything else, Mr. Burgess?
No.
Mr. Dietzel?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
So I'm hearing an explanation that's perhaps backwards from what I'm accustomed to, but I hate to be repetitive. I'm not clear with how the answers come about. But essentially, again, the screen porch that's on the existing structure is encroaching on the water from what the current guidelines are now.
I believe,
right?
I believe current guidelines are, it has to be 50 feet from the water unless there is an existing
Structure.
footprint, yes.
And the screen porch does not meet the existing footprint, is that it?
We were originally led to believe that, and they said they've come up with a new interpretation.
All I want is a
this year.
yes or no.
So it's not there.
Not the past conversation, don't mean to be short, but I want to follow along and,
Okay.
all right? So, I got it. Mr. Dietzel, you're all set for now?
I'm all set, yeah.
All right. I'm going to go to code enforcement. Ms. Owen, we have a lot of communications on this, correct? But
Correct.
why don't I go ahead and let you tell us what's going on here?
Thank you. So the applicants are seeking relief for 2 article and sections in the Town of Derry zoning ordinance. The first one, this property has contained 2 residential dwellings since 1945, is what we have on record. So they were losing their grandfathered status by moving the replacement dwelling, the proposed replacement dwelling. So they're seeking relief for Article Section 3, Section 165-8, which is allowing 1 single-family dwelling on the property. The second they're seeking relief on is obviously the side setback, which would result in 5.26 feet from the side property line. So essentially, the existing dwelling was a 2-story, 3-bedroom dwelling. The proposed is a 2-story, 3-bedroom dwelling with a single-car garage. While it is losing its grandfathered status because it's moving on the property, it is still similarly replacing structure like for like. And again, this property has existed over time in history with 2 residential dwellings on the property. The setback relief they're seeking for the side property line, as we are aware, is due to the shoreland permitting requirements, the setback requirements specifically. They have been granted a shoreland permit, impact permit from DES to replace the existing dwelling with a more conforming dwelling, replace the existing driveway, and install a new septic system. So going through this process and making their revisions based on the feedback they received does abide by shoreland requirements. And I believe at this time we've received one letter in opposition from an abutter, and we have, I believe, 3 letters from abutters in support.
Mr. Corbett, you have anything you want to follow up on there?
Yeah, we got one, and I'm not sure who necessarily to direct this question to. Board, to the applicants, to Ms. Owen.
Use Ms. Owen as a guide.
So Ms. Owen is my guide. We got one of the letters in opposition appeared to be from the abutter next door, and it was the one that I found to be, I think, the one that I'd like to get the most answers on, where it appears there were 2 surveys done by the same company but came to different measurements. I think there's a valid request to let that get ironed out. What do we know about what happened there?
So from what I understand, there was a prior survey done by the previous owners of this property seeking the variance, and that same surveyor performed a survey of the abutter's lot as well. And then the parcel was purchased, the property was purchased by the current applicants, and they had a different survey company come in and survey the property. So I think there's a conflict on the property line, specifically at this abutter who provided the letter. So from the way that we typically look at property line disputes is that is typically a civil matter. It's not something that we enforce or confirm with the town. And the way that I interpret this as well is the applicants are seeking relief for a setback of a property line unrelated to this abutter. And if this ends up moving forward as a civil matter and the property dispute gets resolved, at that point in time, if anything does need to get adjusted, they could certainly seek a second variance if required, if it's determined that there's another setback concern.
But as it's currently written, just that it's a new dwelling less than the 15 feet, even if there is a result, one of them was wrong, and yep, it should have been a little bit more over, but it's not now, as you mentioned, not encroaching on their property. It's still within that 15 feet, as long as we're not saying, yes, we're voting on 5.26, it still goes. We can just rule on the 15 feet.
Correct, yeah, I think they're 2 separate matters, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dickerson, any comment, either of you, on this conflicting survey and what your understanding of it is?
This conflicting survey, I was made aware of this last night by text after trying to contact the couple here. And they asked me that I should end all this today, which I called code enforcement up to ask for advice. Thank you very much for talking to me and calming me down. And then I called both of these surveyors up and asked them today if they could get a hold of each other, find out where the conflict is, and please resolve it. I just want the truth. And they said they're working on it.
One of the conflicts that you can have is that one surveyor may start from one end of the road, the other may start at the other. They look for pinpoints, and the next thing you know, something's not adding up in the middle.
And I'll be very happy to get whatever the honest answer is and work with it from there.
What is the speculative adjustment, the lot lines off?
There is one area, they have a 100-foot long by 20-foot wide strip. It is just for their dock so that they can come up from their Connecticut home to go over to one of the islands to their house.
Is this an easement passage?
Yeah. Okay. We have an easement through it to their place, yes.
Okay.
Or there is an easement to go through, yes. And I'm told the front part of it, both of them agree is right on, and they think it's just skewed or racked a little bit, so it could be 2 foot or so one way, 2 or 3 foot one way or the other.
Mr. Burgess, Mr. Dietzel, anything?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
No?
Mr. Tripp?
So the lot, that the lot line is in dispute, is that map 16, lot 6?
Yes.
And your driveway is approximate to that, is proximate to that?
Their driveway comes in around, and they're able to back in, back out from that area, yes.
Anything else, Mr. Tripp?
No, thank you.
Gentleman down on the left, Mr. Donlin.
Sir, in the public interest, number 1 of the application, you made reference by allowing 2 dwelling units to remain, the replaced dwelling unit will be smaller in scale to fit in more with the character of the neighborhood. And then Ms. Owens said, I believe her words were in like, just going by the scale of this drawing, not to say that I broke out a ruler or anything, but it appears that the existing house is more in liking with the screen porch of the new house. And this other house is substantially larger. So I respect that there's 2 existing dwellings on the place now, but I wonder from a lot coverage standpoint, similarity, if both of them exist later, that is, in my opinion, a rather large increase in the likeness of it, for lack of a better term. So I guess there's 2 kind of questions there. By allowing the 2 dwelling units to remain, so I assume you mean the new house and the existing 2-bedroom.
Yes.
The replaced dwelling unit, the 3-bedroom, will be smaller in scale. So how is going 4 times the size smaller in scale? I guess I'm confused.
Oh, I think that what we meant was that this had been approved for 5 bedrooms between the 2, and we did not want to do that. We just wanted to have this 3-bedroom house up front. This back cottage is just, it's very nice. It's a cute little place, and we didn't want to tear it down.
So you're saying the smaller scale is referencing from the 5-bedroom house you had in your head relative, not the existing house?
I didn't want to have it in my head, but yeah.
Sure. I can draw on napkins too. It's pretty good. And that's all I got for now.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Burgess.
As I recall some of the testimony, did you say that you were originally planning on building the property on the existing footprint of the house, or was that plus?
The allowable footprint in that area, yeah.
No, I meant the original footprint of the original accepted right now, without the screen porch. Is that what you're going to build on, or were you going to build out to the screen porch?
The house would have been built starting where the screen porch was. Yes.
And back to the back of the property?
Yes.
Okay, so...
For me, looking at the lake, I keep calling it the front, I'm sorry, but that's where I'm going to be looking out. But yeah, the back of the property.
Yep. Okay, so this is going to be slightly larger.
It will be larger than the existing house that's there, yes.
Right, thank you.
Who are the folks that are complaining are at 16 Lot 4 that are disputing the survey?
I think they said 16, lot 6.
Yeah, that's 16.6.
16.6, oh, I see, okay.
Is that one area there, yeah.
So you're encroaching on, sorry, I see 5.09, but it's 5.26 is the encroachment area.
We'll be encroaching on 16.4, yes. Into that area.
Oh.
It's right here.
That changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's
Which lot are you encroaching on?
Pardon?
Which lot are you encroaching on?
On the
16.4?
Yep.
On to 16.4, back to,
But they're not the ones that are complaining.
no.
Oh.
They have written a letter in support of this.
Yeah, I wonder what the distance currently projected there is. Let's see it. Maybe I do 15.17 feet. It's right there at the apex of the driveway, I think is the setback showing 15.17 feet. You see that? Yep. And
So I guess on that one, so Ms. Owen, as we're kind of digging through here, I guess it goes back now. So currently, just you go all the way back to my question. Currently, we have 15.17 feet between the proposed new house and the abutter who had the concern. Now, any adjustment there would become within the 15 feet. But if our 15 feet is against a different property, would that setback still be inclusive of that one, or would that then require a second variance for the side setback relief as well?
So, I'm sorry, do you mind rephrasing that?
So right now, it looks like between the lot that was in dispute, they have 15.17 feet, but the setback radius that we're reviewing is for lot 16.4. So if the dispute with 16.6 came back and say it dropped them down to 12 feet, knowing that that one's now within the 15 feet, but it's not the 15 feet that we're actually looking at, would that require a second variance, or would it be all inclusive?
That's how I would look at it, is it would require a second variance after the property line is resolution.
Got it,
or is
okay.
resolved.
Mr. Chair, with that known, and I guess I'll defer to the board, but that, going from the one variance to the two, or granting one and then potentially having to, grant the exact same variance a second time, which I'd have a tough time looking at because I feel like you're almost locked in. I would like to table this in the meantime until we get the results of that, so we know exactly what we're seeing for how many variances will be required for the setbacks.
that is a reasonable request in this manner. I do want to get some more clarity before we motion on that. The area between the proposed new structure and map 16 lot 4 says 5.09 on the setback, but we're looking at the notes show 5.26.
It's actually 15.09, but the one is,
Well, that 5.09 is the side
Nine to the
setback. I'm
side
sorry.
lot.
so it looks like
Where is-
509, but the one's blocked by that line, the property line coming down, the portion of pavement.
Okay. Oh, I see the 5.26, okay.
Yep,
I do see that, all right.
the one above it. Says 5.09 to the corner.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a one.
Yeah, I got it, I had it before.
Mr. Corbett's suggestion of tabling this till you get clarity on that lot line is very, makes sense. I will share with you folks, just as a protocol, that anybody aggrieved by a decision this board has is 30 days to bring it back to this board on an appeal. So if we were to grant this, you really wouldn't want to break ground for 30 days anyway.
That's okay.
And you also, setting the civil suit aside, as code enforcement has pointed out, building this and not getting relief after the fact from this board means that you could be subjected to tearing back the building, which this board has done
Yeah,
before.
don't want to do that.
So, in that regard, we're going to give you, I think, Mr. Corbett, you want to make a suggestion here as to timeline or reflect with the Dickersons on that?
Yeah, I would like to, I'd love to say, let's see them back here in 2 weeks, but knowing that you need two companies to get together to review, and then there's always a back and forth. It never just goes smoothly. I would say when you get it, I don't want to say table it indefinitely, but I would like to get them back as soon as they get the results.
I agree.
How about a renotice or date certain to the next board meeting as a schedule, and then if you do not have the information provided, the board can consider tabling, and then we can avoid renotice.
Yeah, I think that would be the safest way to go here.
Anybody have any conflict with this?
I don't have any conflict, but I do have a question.
Mr. Donlin?
It's for Miss Owens. Can you remind me, do the front setbacks go from the street or the nearest property line in this case? Because it's a little bit of a funky shape, just since we're going down this vein anyways.
Maybe about 20, 30 feet.
No, this particular lot is 35, but if it's 35 from the street, regardless of the angle of the lot or not.
It is, you want me to go ahead, or you got
I
it?
was going to say, as it's defined, it's the linear distance from one property line which abuts an accepted public or private street. And this is a unique situation, obviously.
The front setback is established from the road edge.
Generally.
Yep. And I think there's some other verbiage, and Ms. Owen just touched on it. It's the word frontage.
Right. Just double checking since we're going down this road anyways.
Got it. Mr. Dragani?
I have no questions.
Mr. Obimba?
All set.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I just have a question. What are you proposing to table this or to postpone or?
Table it to the next meeting.
Okay.
And give the opportunity, Mr. Corbett's recommendation is that both survey companies resolve the conflict, and so we have a better feel where this is going.
Yeah, I'd like to basically just know, what we're looking at there for a side setback, as far as if it's one variance or two variances required.
Good. You want to go ahead and make that motion, Mr.? You folks have any questions?
No,
You understand the complexity, and Mr. Corbett's
I believe so, yeah.
direction keeps you out of trouble?
Trying to make it as smooth as I can get for you.
Thanks.
Mr. Tripp?
Why aren't you asking for a side setback right now? Because it's obviously not 15 feet.
Yeah.
Well, currently.
That's what he's looking for,
Yeah,
a
it
side
currently
setback.
has it, but if the abutter believes that the survey is off, and
Yeah,
so
but
as it
It's
currently.
not 10 feet off.
No, that's for so right now, as I was explaining to Lynn, that setback is for a different property. The 15 feet is now on a side setback. So that side, what we want to see now is if they need two separate variances, one for that 5 feet, and then the second one if it encroaches within that 15 feet on the side as well.
Yes. Thank you.
And this was just news to us too, so, which is why we're not doing it.
Okay. Let's go for a motion, Mr. Corbett.
I make a motion what was your exact word, table this to our next meeting?
Next meeting. Ms. Peoples, do we have a meeting date
125,
already
128.
scheduled? 18th? Yep. Make that motion to September 18th.
Make the motion to table through September 18th.
We're going to be out of town the 18th.
We have a wedding in
We have a
California.
wedding.
With the first Thursday in October.
Would that be okay?
Date certain.
Second, I think.
Proposed date certain for October 2nd.
Second? I see, okay,
Thank you.
that's fine. Make that motion.
I make the motion to table this to the October 2nd meeting due to the applicant's availability.
And
I'll second it.
requirements for survey.
Yep, I would like to see the requirements. I'd like to see the results of the comparisons of the two surveys and confirmation of what the side setback is.
I'll second it.
Burgess seconds. Anybody have discussion? Like discussion's been had. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Hearing none.
I vote no. I'm ready to vote now.
What did he say?
Oh, he's ready to vote now.
You ready to vote now?
Yeah, so I'm voting no on the
Okay.
Tabling?
postpone- tabling.
Oh, so the discussion was there. Any particular, anything you want to share with us?
I don't think it meets the spirit of the ordinance, and I think the lot line adjustment or the conflict is irrelevant to the 5 criteria.
Okay, all right, very good. Board voted yes by a vote of 4-1, so we'll see you folks back here on October 2nd. Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
You.
All right, next up, Case number 25-130, Joseph Santa Massino.
I can't see it.
What happened to case number 129?
Got tabled.
We did? I wish people would let me know on these.
That's what I was trying to.
I was confused, too.
All right. Yes, sir.
That's why I was so confused. The one that you guys did, 129. Got it. First one, this is tabled.
Folks, how are you?
Completely nervous.
We don't bite.
And you have every right to be.
9 years in the military, I don't think I've ever been as nervous as this, so.
Doesn't have it.
You'll find we're a lot of fun, provided you follow the guidelines and directions that we explain, which is, please read your application
Yes.
and the 5 criteria, and then you see what happens after that. You do that, we all get along nicely.
Absolutely.
But I can't. It is this.
Yes.
Okay.
Gentlemen, all set?
Yep.
All right, let's get
Do I
this
need to do a
up.
point for Ms. Moran? Did you already do that?
Yes, we do. Mr. Obimba, would you sit on this, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Folks, go ahead.
All right, I hereby apply for a hearing of variance to the term Article 165, Section 25, on the location of property 278 Island Pond Road, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. The proposal is building an ADU of 950 square feet detached in order to facilitate our family growth. I apologize if I jump around incorrectly. The variance will not be contrary to public interest because it is not expanding the size of the property and will in fact add potential tax revenue to the town of Derry. The spirit of the ordinance is observed because multiple lists from Bob Mackey previously had shown property with no current additions, and according to HB 577 is by right allowed a detached ADU if not currently. Substantial justice is done because it will allow our family to both grow under the current financial pressures and taking care of our aging family. The values of the surrounding properties are not diminished due to no noise increase or any potential hazards added. The literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in unnecessary hardship due to inability to own a current home or rent for the next 15 years while our family develops. And we believe that the proposed use is a reasonable one due to the housing crisis not allowing our family to grow in these circumstances, and affordability is impossible any other way. Our current home that we live in is a one-bedroom condo, and especially space for our child right now and others on the way. The space is very limited.
Ms. Owen, was this submitted, or did you mention originally you worked with Mr. Mackey?
Yes, sir. Briefly had multiple calls and conversations before he had retired, and according to him, he said that, and I quote, multiple lists. I don't know what list he was referring to. He stated that some showed that the home had an ADU already on the property. Others did not. There's currently an in-law apartment on the top floor. The only thing that would require a variance is the fact that there is a kitchen at this point on the top floor. Otherwise, we're trying to make sure that we are all in accordance with HB 577. Due to having plenty of land on the property, we just want to make sure that we can observe everything possible, including eventual removal of that kitchen. Just right now, her parents, my in-laws, are using the top floor as it is split right now.
Miss Owen, do we have on the ADU, or do we still have restriction capability on the square footage of the ADU?
Yep.
That's correct,
And
yes.
we're 800 square feet in town?
We cannot restrict it to being less than 750 square feet, but the way our current zoning ordinance is stated is, it is a maximum size of 800 square feet, and we can still limit to that.
And any comments on the kitchen that's here?
Yes, if I may, thank you. I was unable to locate anything that Mr. Mackey may have confirmed with you, so I apologize that I wasn't able to find that information, but what I can confirm is through assessing, the property does contain this in-law, is permitted, and it is considered an accessory dwelling unit. The town of Derry zoning ordinance, allows for an attached accessory dwelling unit, and that's what this is. And the new recently adopted state law permits 1 ADU per single-family dwelling, attached or detached now, as a matter of right. So the variance is being requested to allow the construction of a second ADU as a form of a detached structure. And as previously stated, we can still limit per the current town of Derry zoning ordinance to not to exceed 800 square feet.
Do we know when, I'm sorry, Mr.
Oh, no, fine, go ahead.
Do we know when that in-law went in? Was that dated in there, or?
Is it legal?
1994, sir.
Or, thank you.
I didn't find it on there.
When?
Say again, please.
1994.
1994.
The home was originally built in 1931, and the in-law apartment was added 1994.
1931?
1931 is when the home was originally created, and in 94 the in-law was added.
Mrs. Owen, how do you propose to keep this in check if the board were to affirm the application
So the board,
to 1 ADU?
the recently adopted state law, as I stated, allows for one, by right, 1 ADU, whether it's attached or detached. So technically, this property already contains that. I did get legal counsel, so we have the authority, or you have the authority as the board, to determine if a second ADU would be permitted, though it is not allowed by right specifically. And then again, the size can be limited based on our current ordinance.
You folks have indicated you would take that existing apartment kitchen out?
Yes, and
Condition here?
yes, in time in order
Enforcement would affirm that?
in order to conform to that in time. Currently, it's in use on the top floor by her family, but in order to do that, however long it takes for it to be, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, I'm hungry. But yes, in time, we do plan to remove that in order to facilitate the ADU laws.
Now, would this be attached or detached?
Detached, sir. We did send a attachment that has multiple locations need be, colored, multiple of them using rough distance to make sure that there's enough frontage away from other property lines in order to facilitate what is best if there are any disputes or any concerns from any neighbors or the town itself, in order to facilitate any septic needs or the like.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Corbett?
So I think kind of where if I were to guess where Mr. Perkins was going is also where I was headed. It sounds like in order to get this to be somewhat more conforming, I think as you kind of hear some of the concerns we have is when something goes from non-conforming currently to more non-conforming is really where we struggle. And I don't want to wish anything ill upon your uncle as I ask this. So in light of rooting that the 15 years could move up, do we see a scenario where he may allow for that to be removed now for this to go through, or would be having a scenario where there would be 2 ADUs existing at once?
I believe the plan, the current plan is we wanted to
have two ADUs separate to exist, so for at least 10, 15 years, whenever natural process takes our in-laws, even though we don't like talking about that, unfortunately, but the plan is to take care of them as they grow old or older. They just retired now. They're with us in support. But we're trying to do whatever the town needs to make this happen while not subdividing, not doing anything like that.
Essentially, you want the ADU and you want to keep the kitchen in place? That's on top?
Temporarily for the kitchen, for the top floor at least until it's no longer required. Trying to use different phrases to make sure that it's respectful for those who are with us right now.
You can obviously understand the apprehension of an open-ended door like that, and the precedent that this is setting would be certainly loud. I do have a question, though. This looks like a rather large parcel, and you have frontage on 3 roads. Why not just carve off a piece of this and build a house?
So I don't have my wife and I do not have direct rights over this right now, but from what I've been told, at least when I talked to surveyors before, was that it would have to be subdivided to a greater amount that would make much of the property much harder to use based on how a lot of the farmland is separated as things stand right now. It would skew things, cut through roads. If you look, for example, location B that we have is one of the farmlands that's used. Straying all the way, that would take away some of where we have the goats go about. It would having to add whole extra roads going through from the direction of Tarrant Road. That's all wetland and flooded, can't be occupied. So the only area
cul-de-sac on the end of Tarrant Road, there's like 2 lots around the corner, then another additional 2 lots, and then there's just the piece of this property that ties to it, like,
yep,
as if that, if you just drew a line across the back of that, that looks like pretty much a slam dunk.
Sadly, that's all swamp and wetland. I use that for target practice, just general riding about back there, but that's very, very wetland.
I get that if it's unbuildable, but again, this is like that's a big ask.
These people's names,
3.
same name.
Yeah, Mr. Obimba, any questions?
Mr. Chair.
I do.
All set.
Mr. Dietzel, you have anything?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
So here's the
Mr. Chairman?
conflict. Mr. Burgess.
I do have a couple of things here. I've heard a couple of things that I may be disoriented today or not. A condo and leased land. Is this leased? This property? No, you own this?
No, we don't own it. My wife is set to inherit this once her parents pass. It's a trust for the land. The owners are here in the room right now, and it was our attempt that whether it be 10 years, 15 years, eventually we will move on to the property, but for that time, especially with our growing family right now, we won't be able to use it as things stand, as it's occupied. This is our only means of being able to expand, being able to grow our family, because we can't afford anything otherwise.
You will eventually own this land. You don't own it right at the
Eventually.
moment.
Correct. My wife is on the trust as a beneficiary, or what's the term for it? Beneficiary, inheritance, and it's just more of trying to facilitate this for the next 10, 15 years, however long things take before we do eventually take over, but we can't afford anything else for the time being. And it's having a family of 3, 4, being cramped into a 1-bedroom condo right now. It's
Okay.
what we're dealing with.
Okay. So are you on this land now?
No, sir.
You are not? Okay. That's why I'm so confused. I heard about the condo, and so.
Yeah, I
That's where I'm
own
getting
a
confused.
condo in Manchester. I was able to get before housing got ridiculous, and that was when I was single, ready to mingle. Now I'm happily married with kids, and it's a lot harder.
Who's in charge of the trust?
That would be Patricia Hawes.
Do we have a letter of representation from her?
She's right here.
Okay, so technically, I think we should have had a letter of representation here.
Yep.
And then that brings us back to the, just the question of the application itself.
Pardon me, Chair. Sorry. I just do have a
Dragani.
question. So you currently don't live on the property, and
That is
you're
correct.
looking to put an ADU on a property that already has 2 families living there?
Her uncle and her parents live separate. They live commingle, but it's technically a in-law on top.
Okay.
But
So the
we're-
answer is yes.
Yes.
yeah.
It's okay, no problem. So you currently have the all occupied, so this would really be a second ADU. It wouldn't be, because you're talking about 10 years before, hopefully no one passes?
Yeah, we don't like talking about that.
Yeah,
But it is.
but yeah, but so-
it's being used for our timeline for inheritance. Yes.
So it could be better off served to do this at any point when you're about to move in, correct?
There's no better. I'm sorry. Can you rephrase that?
So I just, the urgency to do an ADU when you're not even going to live at the property.
We would live on the property once the ADU is created, if it would be allowed. We want to raise our family there and eventually give that to our children once we grow old. This has been a 4th generation now, and we want to make sure that we take care of them and so on and so forth.
So then, so I would assume that one of the occupants of the house, whether it's the uncle or your parents, would be moving to the ADU? Is that the idea?
We would be moving into the ADU.
Okay, so what would be the problem with just removing the kitchen now, but all the other living arrangements stay the same? Because then you would be in compliance.
That's something that, at least from a matter of, at least what I've spoken with the homeowner has just been more so a matter of convenience with her at this point. Unsure of how it would, at least in the spirit of things, removal of a kitchen compared to living spaces. We're just trying to work with it. We want to make sure that they have the dignity of having their own kitchen for at least the next 10, 15 years, however it be, while we can all still live and move about, because just timing with how the uncle works nights on before, it's just completely different schedule with how they live. So upstairs is living, downstairs living, meet in the middle on the weekends. And for us, we'd just be on the other side of the property, making sure that we don't disturb them, but also still help and facilitate their care.
Sure. Well, I respect that, but obviously inconvenience isn't a hardship, right? So there's that. Thank you.
Ms. Owen, so are we looking at square footage plus the second unit on this for relief?
It'll be 950.
What are you referencing?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, what were you referencing?
Are we looking for square footage relief as well as a second ADU?
That's how I understand the way that the application has been structured. The comments on square footage noted. The application is stating an ADU of 900 square feet detached.
950?
Correct.
Is it 950 or 900?
950 as I was going by the letter of law for HB 577, but if the town of Derry wants 800, we'll go with 800.
Well, we're at 800 now, is that?
Correct, yes.
Law does allow 950.
No, state law allows 950, but you
That's what I said. Oh, yeah, we don't allow it right now, but
It allows up to 950, but per legal counsel, we can still limit based on our ordinance.
okay.
I was going to say, is there any plans on updating the ADU ordinance to reflect what the HB 577 permits the municipality to do?
I believe that the ordinance will be going through a workshop with the planning board and then to town council for final approval. It has not gone through that process yet, so.
Yeah, because having read HB 577, the law allows the municipality to limit things, limit ADUs. You know, it's not something that the town has to do, but it has an option to do. And like Carrie said, you know, if you look at 674-71, Roman numeral 6, you know, the municipality may require the owner occupy one of the dwelling units, which you would be in agreement with. But the municipality could require that the total living space not be less than 750. And like right now, you're looking at 950. You know, so I would suggest that right now the ordinance is going to be in a workshop here shortly. Yeah.
It's planned for the future, correct?
You know, because there's a lot of options within the law that you might find that you're not in compliance with. You know, and the town not having changed the ordinance, you wouldn't know that. So, like other people have suggested, if there's no urgency in building this ADU, that you give the town, you know, a little leeway in updating our ordinances. You know?
Yep. With our family kind of growing, that's been our emergency. It's like I said, it's been pretty tough, especially with renting homes are getting more and more expensive, and where we can't even afford rent. Like for what sorry, I'm stumbling. We can't even afford any of the rent options that are out and about. Right now, we're just kind of immobile in this one bedroom with more children on the way. That's our emergency. I know the town might see otherwise, so I'm sorry that I'm phrasing emergency or this need.
Well, my feeling is we have a few conflicts. Well, number one, we don't have notice of representation, and I realize somebody's here, but I don't even know who that somebody is, as far as the trustee of this trust, not the beneficiary.
It's the
Those
homeowner.
documents should have been provided with this application. Right now, I'm not apt to want to approve this and move it forward without that. I think Mr. Tripp makes a valid point, but I also understand your sense of urgency. Without those documents, I don't want to vote on this. I'm really not supportive of having additional living spaces on this. Essentially should have been asked for on this application as well for relief. Understanding that we know that it's here, I would ask that you come back with a plan of how you're going to take care of that other additional living space. as well as giving us those documents.
Mr. Chairman, do we have,
Mr. Burgess?
we don't have a picture, a plan, a drawing of what this might look like or where it will be. We should have a definite area where he's going to put it.
Is that what you would desire?
I would think that would be a good idea.
We do have a floor plan that I was working with an architect for.
You got the floor plan?
Yes,
I'm
that
not
one.
talking about what's the building going to look like?
Talking about the what?
What's the building going to look like? Where is it going to be put exactly? We have a lot of deviations here, so.
Yeah, the colored
I saw
map
that
that
one
we
at a
have.
time, Mr. Burgess.
That's where.
I said one at a time.
I understand. Okay.
Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
you're fine.
We do have a map, though, of location of where, where the location would be, specifically the red box that we have. That's our location, roughly of where we were looking for, if that is what you're referring to, Mr. Burgess.
Okay.
But we do have both blue and yellow options as well, just trying to keep off of any wetland and just trying to make sure that we facilitate the town's needs to be away from other buildings, be away from other property lines that we were trying to go with.
If I may, Mr. Burke.
Mr. Corbett.
I'm not necessarily concerned with the 3 locations being finalized at this point, being that they're all within the same distance from any of the nearest homes where they are, and relatively similar setbacks outside of the blue to the other 2. But where I do have a couple hesitancies, one, to Mr. Perkins' point, really it's just a matter of a process. As a judicial board, we need to make sure everything is lined up and correct. So I would like to see the letter from either Patricia or James, or from David Wallace Patricia Hawes or James Hawes or David Wallace, just authorizing you guys up here on their behalf, just so that gets submitted for the record appropriately, and no one can really use that as for grounds of appeal in the future, almost to protect yourselves for anything that comes up. And then, just in addition to that, kind of to Mr. Perkins' point, I love to support growing families in town. I really like to support aging families in town and really kind of keep families together, keep a property within the family. It's something that I am in favor of. But what I'm conscious of is knowing the town's stance on ADUs in general, kind of their stance against HB 77, and where I'm worried, and not that it gets to this point yet, but starting to create a compound, I think is the ultimate worst case fear that when everyone talks about an ADU, they start to have. Again, I don't want to wish anything ill on your uncle, but if we could come up with some type of plan of either removing that kitchen or getting this just a little bit more conforming, I think I'm not going to promise support, but I think you'd be able to get more out of me here. But right now, there are a couple too many unknowns. I don't want to just decline you for the reasons that have been listed, but if I can see some of that tightened up, I think it may help.
If I may, we do have Patricia here who can make a statement if the board needs right now. She was expecting to make a statement. We actually didn't know that we needed a letter. We just assumed a statement would be good. So if the board needs her to stand forward and speak her piece or her mind on this, she's more than ready to do so. In regards to having anything concrete beforehand, at least while I was starting this process with Mr. Bob Mackey, he stated that I shouldn't need to go ahead and spend out for the surveyor, shouldn't have to start spending money for a big floor plan, anything like that. That's why it's very bare minimum. I was advised to say bring it before the board, and I should get this cleared first for the variance before I start any build processing. So I do apologize that we don't have that aspect done. This is our first time with all this. We're incredibly shaky and nervous with all of it. That's why we only have Patricia here to be able to make a statement, if you would allow it.
Nope. I already made it clear what we want, which is we want to see the defined trustee of the trust and that letter of representation, those 2 parts. And her standing up here and giving a statement isn't going to clarify the earlier of the two. We'd like a drawing of just approximate where this structure is going to be added onto and what that footprint might look like. I don't think that requires you to go out and hire an architect to provide this board that information. And it sounds like you have to coordinate how you're going to remove that kitchen unit and in order to get this and try to create a different plan of cohabitation to meet the conveniences that you're asking this board for relief of.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
So, question, just thinking, keeping in mind what the applicants mentioned, just not having much experience, to your point of you'd like to see some type of depiction, would it be fair to request, even we've had applicants come in with not the exact structure, but an image of what it will be in, the concept of, we've seen, would something like that suffice, or do you want to see an actual, really kind of item down?
Well, I think, anybody can scale a ruler, right? This is a one-floor structure you're looking at?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So you take a ruler, 1/4 inch per foot equals a foot, and measure it out and create a footprint that equivalates the 950 square feet, I think works. I don't need to see the square footage of the kitchen or of the bedrooms or anything like that.
Got it. So you want the outside of the house, not the floor?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Mr. Burgess has hit on this as far as what he would like to see, and, elevation works, right? You've got 8-foot studs plus 3 building plates and, a roof. It kind of works. Some kind of sketch. The board's not that stingy. But I think to Mr. Corbett's point that he's expressing, you're really into some very critical areas here that this board wants the paperwork and documents in line for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Question.
I'm apt to feel better about giving any relief, not a guarantee, but for those other stipulations I've mentioned, I don't know about the rest of the board, but I think it's a fair ask. You've heard it from 2 board members, and I think you have support from the rest of the board to want to see that information. Mr. Burgess?
Yeah, one thing. Are you going to build this yourself? Someone's going to build it for you?
Using the VA loan, we have builders and contractors at the ready.
Okay. I'm going to suggest that you try to find someone who would contract this, okay? And a lot of them will give you pictures of what their design might look like.
Well, Mr. Burgess, we think we've already determined, I don't need anything that exact for what you've described and what this past history has been. But Mr. Burgess's suggestions don't need to be brushed aside either. With that being said, I want to take a motion I'd like a motion to postpone or table this. You folks good to come back on October 2nd? You think you can get all this information together?
It should be possible, yes, sir.
Very good. Can I have a motion to table this till October 2nd, please?
If not, they can request a push at that point.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to table this till October 2nd for the availability of the applicants.
Very good.
I'll second.
Mr. Burgess seconds. All in favor of tabling this case till case number 25-130 till October 2nd, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Bimba, you all set?
All set.
All right, very good. All right, we'll see you folks on October 2nd, okay? If you have any questions, you can confer with code enforcement, and if there's anything else they need to know, they can relay to me. Okay? Very good. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
In spirit of the time, we are at 9:49, and it appears we have 2 cases left.
I have case number 25-131.
Just 131?
Yeah.
Do we need to go make the motion for 2, sorry, yes, I was going back to 129 as well. Do you want to make a motion now to extend, or do you want to wait till we get closer to 10 o'clock?
We can make a move. Let's wait till we get closer till 10 o'clock.
All right.
Let's get this one underway. Next case up is 25-131, Lisa Moran and Micah Arsenault. Mr. Donlin, would you sit on this case, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, folks. How are you tonight? Good. You folks are the owners of this property, I take it?
Yes.
Okay, you want an artisan gift shop?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you read the variance, the application.
For the special exception.
Special exception, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Corbett. We've had quite a mix tonight, haven't we?
It's quite the night.
All right, special exception, so go ahead, read that application that you wrote. And we'll
I'm
get
just
on.
asking for a special exception to run a small artisan gift shop, handmade crafts that my daughter and I do, as well as other crafts that we have that my mother did. My mother passed away in November. This was her property to begin with. She bought it original in 1977, and we've lived there ever since. She and my father had a business back in 1980.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. So I would love to hear that.
Oh.
Just before you do, could you just read
Yeah,
these
just
nine
the
right
first
in,
page?
and then you can expand into everything else? Thank you.
There won't be any, I don't know what you want me to read. The no chemicals other than the craft glues. It's not going to be anything like commercial.
You have,
You can almost, just read it as it's written, and I'm even fine if you say number one, and then just read your answer, and we know where you're going. We just need your answers written for the record first.
The applicant claims the dwelling unit is his or her legal residence, one and only since I was 3 years old. My parents bought it. The use was established by the applicant prior to the filing. Yes, it was established in 1977. The proposed home business will not be injurious, noxious, or offensive to the neighborhood by any reason of emission of odor, fumes, dust, smoke, vibration, noise, or other cause. No chemicals other than craft glue or paint. A household. The home business will be conducted within the residential structure or existing structure will not exceed 25% of the finished living area of the dwelling, and it's only the carport's intended to be used. I don't want to use the garage or anywhere where we live. It's just the carport in the front. The home business will not change the residential character of the dwelling. It won't. I'm not doing anything but making beaded jewelry and decorative sun catchers, things like that, and displaying the products inside the carport. They won't be displayed outside, only on the inside. There's already an existing sign from the letter that I added to it from when my parents had a business in 1980 to 86. It's a metal sign. It's been blank since, other than me painting mine and my husband's name on it when we got married. It's only my daughter and myself that are going to be working as employees. There's no other employees. And I do have an intended 3 car spaces to the right of the driveway, and no more than one home business is planned to be conducted. That's the only business that I want.
All right, so thank you for that. Now you can expand in your own words.
What was that?
I said thank you for that. Now you can expand in your own words. So you can read your letter, you can tell the whole story that I had to interrupt you on.
I just wanted to, my parents had a business in 80 to 86. I said that 3 times already. My mother also had the same variance that I'm asking for now. She already had that back in 2004. She did a little bit of a dabbling of trying to run a business, but life got chaotic. She had grandchildren, so she really couldn't stay up with it. I'm disabled. I'm home all the time. I can stay up with it. So that's really just to keep me busy, get me a little extra income to help with expenses around the house, things like that.
Thank you. Now, I don't have, before I turn it over to the board, I don't have many questions based on a special exemption versus a variance, and it's more of making, a matter of making sure we check the boxes really than rather argue for or against things. But with that, my one question would just be, what are your thoughts on hours and days of operation?
They wouldn't be like, I'm not going to do it every single day thing, because I can't do every single day thing. I was even thinking like definite Saturday and Sunday, because those are days that people like to go, wandering around to craft stores or shopping, things like that. But then like maybe 2 days in the middle of the week where it wasn't, like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday where we didn't do anything, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Are there any hours that you would do differently on the weekend versus the weekdays?
I don't think so, no. And generally, I wouldn't be like doing anything before 9 a.m. or after like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Because my husband would come home from work at 5, and then we do the normal routine of dinners and things like that. So I still have to be a normal, like, household with my family.
So if we listed a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or sorry, 7 days a week,
Right.
9 to 5 for your hours of operation, that would be,
Right.
that would
And
work
I
for you.
also wanted to state that I don't want to be running through the winter. I want it to be like more of a seasonal, like springtime to fall time, like March to November or whatever.
I think I'll leave it for the board to see what they think. Personally, and everyone here, I wouldn't want to get so restrictive that we're having to come back during certain months, during certain days. If no one else opposes, I would
just leave it open.
Support 7 days and just 7 days a week, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to, anyone else wants to tighten that up.
Good for me.
Are we okay with it?
Given the nature of the business, I think we don't need to be that restrictive. It's barely an art. Not.
What do you say?
Yeah.
We don't really do the same thing. We don't have to be that restrictive.
Okay. Would you prefer 8 to 5? Or you
Just in case
tend
you
to sleep
want to
in?
I wouldn't even be like that early.
Okay, good enough.
Would it have to be that early?
No, we want to make sure that, basically that you're not out there at 8:30 and all of a sudden getting a complaint that you're 30 minutes early on your window.
No.
Okay. I think to Mr. Corbett's part, I think he's clarifying and make sure you don't have to come back at some other time for some adjustments.
Okay.
Okay? Anything else?
No, I think it covers everything I could have.
Okay. Anybody here in the room wish to speak in favor or opposition of this? You wish to speak in favor? Okay, let's make a call to public.
He's against it. Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to make a call to public real quick, and you'll have an opportunity to rebut, okay? So we'll make a call right now. Anybody in favor of this application, this is your opportunity to come forward and speak. Anybody on the phone there, Mr. Preventure?
Mr. Chair, seeing none rise at this time.
Very good. Mr. Corbett, you have phone numbers there, right?
Yeah, those of you who are in, you'll press *9 to raise your hand. Those of you who may wish to dial in, you're going to dial 646-558-8656. Your meeting ID is 323-909-140. If you're having any technical issues, please dial 603-845-5585.
Mr. Corbett, why don't you go ahead and make that extension call?
And again, *9 to raise your hand.
Extension.
Oh, sorry, and Mr. Chair, I'd propose to extend this 15 minutes.
Very good. Go a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
You. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. All right. So nobody rises for support of this application. Anybody in opposition of this application, this would be time to come forward. Ladies, I'm going to have you step back and share the microphone. You'll have an opportunity to rebut, okay?
Here.
Good evening. Your name?
My name is Rudolph Tempe. I live at 78 Fordway Extension in Derry.
Okay.
I sent a letter by email to, I got to be honest with you, I don't know which whoever received it. And I'm just going to read that letter.
Okay.
And
You know, overall, you're in opposition of them having a bead business.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
You're in opposition of them having a bead business.
I don't understand.
Are you in opposition of having a bead business?
Yes.
Okay. Just tell us why.
Yes. Okay. I'm writing this in concern of the residents of the Derry of expressing my strongest opposition to the special exception requested, submitted by my neighbors, the Arsenals. And the application 25-131 for parcel ID 21027-002, located at 80 Fordway Extension, zoned MDR. This request seeks an approval of Article V4, Section 165-46.B of Town of Derry zoning ordinance to operate an artisan gift shop in their residence. I respectfully urge the board to deny this application at the public hearing because my concerns stem currently from the state of the property and potential impacts on the surrounding neighborhoods and public safety. The property at 80 Fordway Extension has unfortunately become a collection site of junk and debris, which is already negatively affected the aesthetics and the economy of the value of the nearby properties. Allowing commercial operations such as the artisan gift shop would only estimate the issue and further devolving the residential character of the area and potentially encourage more clutter in association with the business and activities. Additionally, Fordway Extension is a busy roadway and a significantly traffic volume. Introducing a retail operation at this location would likely lead increased vehicle parking along the edge of the road, creating hazard conditions, drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. This could result in obstructing sight lines, reduction road safety, and potential accidents, which with residential zoning and towns committing to the public welfare. I believe granting this special exemption would set a poor precedent for and undermine the integrity of the MDR zoning district, which is intended to preserve the residential tranquility and property values for which the regions I have already stated. Along with this, I have the speed limit on Fordway Extension. It's posted, and it's posted at 35 miles an hour. I have gone to the Derry Police Department several times. I'm thinking, I'll get to the point here, but several times to take and have them come down and set up speed traps and everything else on the road. They have told me that all they can do is beef up the patrol. So by having, and because they can't park their cruisers on the side of the road because there is not enough property or enough area for them to park their cruiser so that they can do and keep their officers safe. Therefore, if they can't park their cruisers on the road to maintain and try to slow the people down and everything else, how can they park? They have no place to park cars or anything else, so they're going to be parking on the side of the street. The cars are going to be out in the road there, and it's going to be, somebody's going to get hurt. And like I said, it's just, I feel as though it's a huge safety thing. And again, if they, what they do over there, that's their business and everything else. But like I said, it's just a huge safety thing. And like I said, with that business and everything else, it's just going to add to the clutter that's already over there. So, okay. Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Provencher, you have anybody out there?
Mr. Chair, seeing none, rise at this time.
Very good, thank you. All right, ladies, come back up.
Sweat like hell.
All right, any rebuttal there?
Yes, as I stated in my application, I have.
Can you speak into the microphone,
designated
please?
3 spaces.
Speak
in my
into the mic a
driveway.
little better, please, because we can't hear you. You got to almost eat these things.
Sorry, it's all kind of sweaty
Any
now here.
complaints from this guy?
As I stated in my application, there are 3 designated driving spots in my driveway that I have designated for customers. And there's also ample space to pull off the side of the road. There has never been an issue with parking. When we have yard sales, we have 3, 4, 5 cars. Nobody ever has a problem.
And I would like to pipe in.
And I'm not done yet, Micah. And as for speed traps, I think it was 2018, 2019, contacted Sheriff Chuck Macias, and one of his sheriffs was parked in my driveway as a speed trap.
The speed traps have nothing to do with
that.
this. Okay. It has nothing to do with it.
Here nor there. Mr. Timpey suggested or stating that.
I understand. It has
speed
nothing to do
traps.
with your application. Just
No.
stating your points.
My point is, there won't be any
His
whatever
concern
he
is of
said.
safety.
hazardous on the street.
So what about debris in your yard and stuff?
Yeah.
There is no debris in my yard. There are 3 areas in my yard that have my husband's, like, lawnmowers, snow blowers, things like that. Bob Mackey already talked to him about that, and we downsized as much as we could, but the ones that he kept are good usable pieces that he does upgrade, or like, not upgrade, fix lawnmowers and stuff for like disabled vets and older timers that he knows.
How about, you also have 2 vehicles that was on the, next to it that are
We
unregistered?
have one vehicle that's
Big truck and
a big truck and a motor home.
mobile home.
Yes.
Mr. Burgess, would you hold, please?
The motor home and the big truck were supposed to get registered in January, but like I told Bob Mackey, when I last spoke to him, my mother passed away in November. And that was the income that was going to use to register those 2 things. One is a 1968, honey, you should be up here telling me what this truck is. And the other one is our motorhome. We can't register either one of them because we don't have the income. Hence the reason why I want to have a business to generate more income. So I can register my motorhome and be able to drive it and use it, because it is drivable and usable. The truck is drivable and usable, and they're both inspected. They're just not registered right now.
If they're not registered, they couldn't be inspected. They were inspected for the year they were in, but not
inspected and
anymore.
registered. The registrations ran out, so we didn't bother to inspect them. But they are, yes, 100% usable and inspectable. My husband even drove the green truck that's in question from the shop that he works at to the house on his brother-in-law's or his brother's license plate. Because he owns the Motorsport Tire and Auto.
Resolve the parking. I think that was kind of it.
Okay.
What about your parents' sign for their business?
It's just a blank sign. I'd like to repaint that with my business name, which is yet to be disclosed, because I'm still thinking about a good name. Something that my mother would be proud of.
What's the square footage of the sign?
It's only like this big. I don't know the square footage. I don't have a ruler.
3 by 3 is our limit?
Yeah, the note that we got,
I'm pretty sure it was within that limit.
a sign permit will be required to refinish the existing business sign. That's already locating.
Mr. Tripp?
Is Mr. Provencher around?
He's in back.
Do you suppose we get a street view on Google so we could take a look at the property?
I'm on my way, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Donlin, you have anything?
No, sir, I was going to ask the rough size of the sign as well.
Okay.
And I think a 100-foot driveway, if that's a true statement, lends itself to certainly a few off-street parking cars.
Good point. waiting for Mr. Provencher to see if he can pull up an image of, or the property for Mr. Tripp.
Oops, here he comes.
There you go. We found it.
All right.
Fordway extension. 80 Fordway, Fordway.
Gotcha.
Wait, yeah, I was just gonna.
There you go.
Wait till 15.
No, I know.
The long dirt driveway. That's our yard sale tent. And that's the
Often do you
green
have,
truck.
how often do you hold
and that's
yard
the motorhome.
sales?
What was that?
Said, how often do you have yard sales?
We had 4 yard sales this year.
Okay. When will you take that canopy down?
I planned on taking it down next weekend after we have another yard sale.
Okay. I think relative to Mr. Timpey's safety concerns, I think that would be something that would be necessary.
Is that the carport in question?
No, the carport in question is down, that's the nose of my truck right there, that black truck. The carport is just beyond that. It's a small, it's smaller than this shed here at the street with the silver tent coming off of it.
Now, in order to access back there, I'm going to assume this was the debris Mr. Timpey had mentioned. Is this going to be kind of cleared out to create access, or what's the plan?
Most of that is already gone.
Okay.
I don't know how long ago this Google
Yeah,
is,
the
but
photos of
all of
June,
that stuff there is already gone.
It's been a handful of months, so I can also appreciate that it could be the truck coming by at the worst possible moment.
Most of that wood that's there, that's a tree that we had to take down. Most of that wood is already gone to the backyard fire pit.
And you have enough room that potential customers would want to drive in that driveway and they would be safe.
That's my intention
And
come
you
spring.
indicated that is 100 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Tripp, you asked to see this video. Anything from you?
Yeah, I just wanted to see where the parking spaces were.
Okay.
Because
Where my truck is and that other car, that nose of that car sticking out, that's actually 3 spaces angled in.
so they appear to be occupied right now. How would you,
I
how would the
can park
customers?
anywhere over here on that whole side of the driveway is parking too. I can park my truck there. I just so happened to be parked there when this Google truck came along.
Well, you presented that the 3 parking spaces would be there. and
Right
like I said,
behind the
I
shed.
can see that they're there, but like I said,
Sorry, Mr. Chair, may I make the request to extend for 15 more minutes?
Yep. Motion made by Mr. Corbett. Somebody want to help out there?
Second.
Mr. Donnelly gives a second for extension.
Back to you, Mr. Tripp.
Yep.
now all right, so it's possible that there would be parking available. Did you say that the sign was out front already?
Yes.
It's right next to the mailbox.
You can see it right next to the mailbox. That's the sign that my father made for their business back in 1980 to 86.
So
It's just a
all you
blank
have to do
black
is get
sign now.
code enforcement to approve that sign.
Yes, they'll require, it was noted that a sign permit will be required to refinish the existing business sign located at the end of the driveway.
Okay. So, all righty. And what would you say that the hours of operation would be?
Only like 10 to 3.
10 to 3?
So, Mr. Tripp, I had listed 9 to 5, 7 days a week, so that it wasn't overly restrictive, which kind of met the support of the board when we proposed that.
Say again?
So that met the support of the board when I proposed 9 to 5, 7 days a week, so that we weren't being
Okay,
overly
so,
And it wouldn't even be 7 days a week, but it would be at least both weekend days.
all right. So, and there was the office or the sales room would be manned all the time, or there would be somebody in the sales room
Yes.
from 8 to 5?
My bedroom is actually above that carport, yes. I could be in the bedroom and someone's pulling in my driveway, yes. It would
Okay.
be manned constantly. I live in the house.
All righty.
There's not going to be anything semi-precious. There's not going to be gold and diamonds. It's just beads.
All right. Good, thank you.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, we could take a motion, go into deliberation.
I'll make the motion to go into deliberative.
Mr. Burgess has the call. Mr. Corbett makes the second. All in favor of deliberation, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Donlin, you have anything?
Seems like a pretty low-impact situation, and it specifically calls out artisan things in the MDR as a special exemption.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Burgess?
Yeah, I'm thinking if they clean the place up.
Sorry, again?
Huh?
I said, what did you say?
I said, when they clean the place up, it should be okay for this particular operation.
Okay.
It's getting late, excuse me.
Yep, Mr. Tripp? Any objections here?
So you're gonna be in the carport, and,
Not that silver tent, the carport connected to the house.
Yep,
Okay.
all righty. Nope, I have no objections.
Okay, Mr. Corbett?
Much as Mr. Donlin said, as you go through, it meets all of the requirements for the special exception. To Mr. Timpey's point, and I mean, no offense to anybody within the room with this, seeing the debris, I can understand where his concerns would be from overall there. However, I don't see that rejecting the bead shop would fix that. If anything, I think that bringing in the artisan shop would lead to an area that's being tended to more, and frankly, just to attract more customers coming in. I think it's a good way to help maintain and keep it together. Just want to touch upon that point, but overall, as Mr. Donlin mentioned, I believe it meets all the criteria for a special exception.
Very good, I have nothing to add there. Take a motion and come out of deliberation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry again?
You want me to read the motion?
Yeah, that would be fine. Who made the motion?
Burgess.
Burgess and Mr. Donlin had the second. All in favor of coming out of deliberation, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Corbett, you have a motion to read?
I make a motion on case 25-131 for Lisa Moran and McKay Arsenal to grant a special exception as provided in Article 6, Section 165-46B of the Town of Derry zoning ordinance to operate an artisan gift shop at the residence. Parcel ID 21027-002, zoned MDR, as presented with the following conditions. 1, subject to obtaining all state and town permits and inspections. I do not think we need to add the signed permit, as I believe that is covered, so I have nothing else to add. Does anybody have anything to add, or would like to second this? Hours of operation.
Hours of operation.
Sorry, number 2, hours of operation will be allocated from 9 to 5, 7 days a week.
Very good, and the town permits inspections will cover the signed permit. Correct, Mrs. Owen?
Correct.
All right, thank you very much. Affirm for Mr.
Second.
Corbett.
Second by Mr. Donlin.
Second by Mr. Donlin, thank you. Now to finding of fact.
Finding of fact for case 25-131. The board found that the applicant is requesting a special exception to operate an artisan gift shop at the residence. The property is located in the medium-density residential zoning district, MDR. The types of home businesses permitted by special exception in the MDR specifically include artist, artisan, or craftsman. The proposal would utilize an existing extended carport area attached to the garage that's approximately 10 feet by 16 feet, encompassing a 160 square foot area. The existing driveway can accommodate off-street parking, and the existing property was previously granted an exception in 1981 to conduct an ornamental ironworks business out of the garage, and again in 1998 to operate a craft business at the resident after the previous business vacated. If approved, a condition may be imposed to prohibit the storage of material or conduct of sales outside of the residence. I do believe within the meeting minutes that we'll get to that we did discuss it will all be held within the carport. And then lastly, that a sign permit is required to refinish the existing business sign located at the end of the driveway. Again, the board also includes all facts found in the meeting minutes for this application and incorporates all meeting minutes into its finding of facts and decisions. Does anybody have any addendums or additions to make?
No gestures there. All in favor of moving this for a vote, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Donlin?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Burgess?
Yes.
Mr. Tripp?
This is on the approving the special exemption?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Corbett?
Also a yes.
And Mr. Perkins makes that an affirmative 5-0 vote. Congratulations, lady. Don't forget to get your sign permit. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Next, board business up. We have no other business and no correspondence. Next up is approval of minutes for 7/17/2025. I make a motion to accept those minutes as amended.
Okay.
Please, someone?
I will second the motion.
No, you need to make the motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Very good.
I'll
Second,
second.
please. Mr. Burgess has a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Please table the motion, table the minutes from August 21st, 2025.
I'll make the motion to table the minutes for
Mr.
August
Obimba has that
17th.
motion for tabling. Somebody
I'll second it.
Mr. Burgess seconds that. All in favor of tabling those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. We have no other business this evening. We'll see you folks on September 18th, right? Rushing the year by.
Yay.
And someone's going nuts here tonight.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'll make the motion to adjourn, please.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you very much. I heard the second somewhere. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Good night.
Adios.